to those who celebrate. Yeah, we're back. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
Oh,
man, I'll tell you what. Nothing's going to make me feel better than pie.
Yeah. Happy Pie Day, everybody.
Happy Pie Day to those who celebrate. Not a lot of people remember this holiday, although we seem to really like it here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Pie Day is really a math day. It's the, how would I describe it? It is the formula or the number required in the formulas to discover the circumference of a circle.
You nailed it. Yeah.
So pi 3.1415 continue on going down numbers. I mean, it could go on forever and it's infinite.
Right.
You divide that or multiply that by r squared, which is your old radius.
Of course.
And you get yourself a circumference of a circle. Without that, we wouldn't know anything.
Right. I would like to discuss as we were. So, okay, I guess I should start here. We all made pies.
Yeah.
Or we have to make some pies. Okay?
Yeah. So we're gonna have a pie contest.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was our big day yesterday. Is we're like, so last year we tried a bunch of fast food pies. How do we top that, boys?
There's no way. There's no way to do any better. We shouldn't have shot so high right out of the gate.
Like on the wings of Icarus, we flew too close to the sun, and the waxy glue has done melted, and we are falling to earth fast. We're at terminal velocity. How will we recover? We decided to make 3 pies of our own individually at home. We brought them in this morning. Well, actually, 2 of us have. I'm going to explain myself here in a moment. And we're going to compete to see who's made the best pie by having a panel of judges come in studio later in the show.
That's right.
And judge us on our pie making ability. Here's the interesting situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to make pie, maybe after a couple drinks, maybe it's not the best idea.
Doesn't go
You were a
quite
little
well.
saucy yesterday?
Okay, so
What?
so
I thought your texts were a little goofy.
remember, yeah, sorry about that. It was a little bit of a boozy Susie,
It happens.
Papa Wernberger, he likes getting his sauce.
Especially on
jealous.
Wednesdays. Especially on Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday. So remember Bar Friday, Michael Busalaki came in and he gave us all Busa, the oat milk espresso martini you can buy in the bottle.
Yeah, I love that guy. If you were hanging out with Michael yesterday, I'm going to be pissed.
Michael wasn't there. I didn't see Michael, but I did go to Barbusa, the place that he and his family owns. And by the way, while I was there, I had a couple of Busa espresso martinis. I'm not afraid to admit it.
You know what? I always have a bottle in the fridge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Like if somebody comes over, it's a nice little treat.
Yeah. I mean, even like they do it at Barbusa. I didn't know this, but they'll do even like little Busa martini shooters. It's on the menu where you could just have like a taster for everyone.
Beautiful.
We did that at the table. I ended up having the Busa espresso martini. We had a huge spread with appetizers. Everybody had entrees. We're all sharing. It was a great night. The reason why I was having espresso martinis though is because I knew when I was leaving Barbusa, I was coming home to make a pie. And that's exactly what I did. But Richie, once he gets in the sauce, the happy juice, I mean, I'm feeling it. I'm talking.
The pie's gone awry.
We're shutting down the restaurant. We come home. I'm chatting up our babysitter. I'm not in pie making mode until legitimately like 6 hours ago at midnight.
Wow.
Okay. So follow me through this. I'm not going to tell you what pie I made because we have a contest going on and we're going to have our listeners vote as well once the pictures are taken.
Okay.
So I won't tell you what kind of pie, but let's put it this way. In the process of making the pie, I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up to what I thought was going to be the last images of my house altogether. I was like, the pie has gone bad.
So in my research of finding out or deciding what pie I was going to make, I was going down the list of different pies because I thought, should I get kind of wild on this? I mean, should I go chicken pot pie?
Yeah.
And then I was like, shepherd's pie. And then I started to break down, what is actually a pie? Like in your eyes, does a pie have to have a crust on the bottom? Can it have the crust on the top? A shepherd's pie doesn't even have a crust. It's just like potatoes on top.
Yeah, it's mashed potatoes.
Yeah, but is it a pie just because everything's in a pan?
I suppose so. You see, that's a great question. Like a pot pie, truly, the crust is only on top on most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Guys,
yeah.
we've been waiting all off season.
What?
They did it. The Padres made their pie.
Oh boy, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Well, sort of.
We do have some breaking news as of yesterday around, what was it, 10 a.m. a noon time? It was
it was after Darren's show. It was
okay.
right before the second hour of John and Jim.
2:31 a.m. South Korean time.
But I think Dennis Lim put out a little teaser, like something might be happening during Darren's show. And then Darren had Dennis Lin on. And apparently there were a bunch of White Sox scouts who were at the Padres spring training game 2 days ago. And they were scouting out the players they were going to be trading Dylan Cease for.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
When they were talking about it, it was a very hush-hush, and they said, we need a Dylan Cease and desist.
So anyways, Dylan Cease is a Padre. He's 28 years old. He's been a workhorse over the last 3 seasons since the COVID year where nobody was a workhorse because it was the COVID year. But Dylan Cease, second in Cy Young voting 2 years ago, had a little bit of a down year in terms of ERA last year.
Isn't a master of segues over here, by the way.
Still like to say workhorse from home.
Ton of innings.
Yeah. He's a work from home pitcher. He's going to pitch from Zoom, which is weird. But, they're going international. They don't need him even to come on the trip. They save a spot on the plane. No, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal, considering how quiet of an offseason the Padres have had. Dylan Cease, look, is it a name that a lot of people know? No, this isn't a Blake Snell. This isn't a flashy acquire. It's just a guy who's going to hopefully chew up a ton of innings. And if he's anything like the pitcher he was in 2022, he was in 2021. This could be a special year for the Padres rotation because Yu Darvish has great stuff. Joe Musgrove has great stuff. And assuming that everybody's healthy and pitches well, Dylan Cease is one of those guys too that you could consider. That's a really solid 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is after that, there are a lot of, crooked dotted question marks.
Right.
So we'll see what they have in the back half of their rotation. But for now, this is a good 1, 2, 3.
1 year ago today, it was almost the same problem. I mean, it was the same question here. And we weren't in panic mode because we had the bats, man. Yeah. We had the bats. So you're going to score so many runs. So in essence, I mean, I guess I should feel pretty damn good about this. And especially, can they add one more? Can they add one more that's maybe like a B-? If Blake Snell's an A+, Dylan Cease is an A-?
I think A-. Yeah, he was the White Sox ace. Now the White Sox were a bad team last year, so take that for what you will. Last year was the worst year of his ERA.
Padres.
Yeah, exactly. But 2 years ago, Dylan Cease was legitimately second in Cy Young voting. Like it's a big deal that they were able to go get him, and it's a big deal that he was only $8 million. And I understand 3 of the top 10 prospects are now gone because of him, but you have him for this year. Next year is still under team control with arbitration. Getting Dylan Cease, man, when you think about what that means for the postseason, if Darvish, Musgrove, and Cease are all healthy and the Padres actually get to the postseason, that's what you need. You need 3 good pitchers in playoff baseball. That's why the Dodgers, who have had the best team in baseball over the last 2 decades, it feels like, haven't had a ton of postseason success because they've been outpitched in the postseason. So when you look at what this actually means, what it means to me is if the Padres can find their way into the postseason in a best-of-5 series, they're going to have the pitching to go head-to-head with anybody they play.
Yeah, I mean, just hear me out here, okay?
Yeah.
The Padres, if they were going to spend $8 million, okay, how fun would it have been?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Well, see, now you're talking my language.
Throw Derrick Henry out of the mound.
Former Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry.
He was $8 million.
I'm just saying, A.J. Brown has made overtures that he'd like to be a Padre several times over. I mean, if Derrick Henry, let's put it this way, in the late innings, he's going to destroy people.
Wasn't AJ Brown actually drafted by the Padres?
I'm pretty sure he was a baseball player, like a fantastic baseball player. And those are serious overtures. Like, or could be.
He was drafted by the Padres in the 19th round of the 2016 Major League Baseball draft.
Could
Hell
be taking
yeah,
a lot
dog.
more. Oh my God. Can you imagine if we get Derrick Henry and AJ Brown?
Be awesome.
I'll tell you what, you add a quarterback to this roster and you have a pretty competitive NFC team.
If it's not third, it's probably fourth.
I'll tell you right now, you add a quarterback, they're winning the NFC South. I'm just saying.
I'm very curious Padre fan reactions because yesterday it was very exciting, right? Like, oh my God, you get an ace in Major League Baseball who's been a legitimate ace over the last few years, and he's coming over to join Musgrove and Darvish, and it's like, oh, problems all solved. Well, problems aren't all solved. The Padres still have a lot of holes around this lineup, and you're still relying on a ton of youth. But I'm curious, fan reaction after a night of sleep. How are you feeling about this Dylan Cease trade coming over to the Padres, adding to the top of this rotation? Hit us on the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app, the little microphone icon. Hit us on the text line 70470. Start your message with team. Is all solved for the Padres? Did adding one pitcher to the starting rotation make you feel better about the start of this season? Because for me yesterday, it did.
Well, he's young. He's got experience, though, and good experience. He's controllable for that extra year next year. You could negotiate with him and probably get a decent deal if you love him, if you fall in love with him, if your fan base falls in love with him. He has a great mustache. The list
really
goes
good.
on and on. It's really good. Can he make pie? That's the biggest question here on 314 Pie Day.
Right.
What's his favorite pie? I mean, look, we're going to have options today. That's one thing you can rest assured we will have options for you on this good morning, this good pie day.
And he's a power pitcher. Like, the dude throws the ball hard, which is something that the Padres haven't necessarily had. They've had a lot of place pitchers, right? But this guy, in his Cy Young year, he was topping out in the hundreds. Last year, I think he was topping out at 98, which that can be concerning. A serious drop in velocity has my mind worried. But when you think about what he's bringing, it adds a little oomph to this starting rotation.
Well, it's just you want variety, and I think that's where Mike Schilt was talking about Matt Waldron as a potential starter or getting starts throughout the season. A knuckleballer, guy, you call him that. He throws like a quarter of his pitches, so 25% of his pitches have been knuckleballs since he's been in the league. Like, it's good to have variety. It's good to have pitchers who tinker with stuff. Darvish, I mean, he tinkers. He has a bunch of different pitches he could get to. Musgrove has been working on a fourth pitch for years now. You have this guy, if he's thrown heat, you have variety in your rotation that does change things up. In a 3 or 4 game stint, you're going to have a bunch of different looks at the same problem. But look, I didn't expect this. This is the biggest part of this whole conversation is I didn't expect us to wake up days before they're starting their season and say, wow, AJ Preller's done it again.
Yeah.
But AJ Preller's done it again.
I thought the same thing. In fact, I was thinking that on the way in this morning of like, God, this guy does pull rabbits out of the hat, especially when you think, well, that hat's closed, man. It's all shut up. It's done. I just don't know if 3's enough. Which I'm not trying to be greedy here, but you're right, Rich. You go through 1, 2, 3. Where do you go 4, 5?
Michael King, I would guess, is their fourth starter. He came over in the Juan Soto trade.
Never pitched more than 100 innings.
Again, you have Johnny Brito. You have Matt Waldron. You have, what's his name, Velasquez.
Yeah, but I think that's your 6th.
Or Vasquez.
The 3 you just mentioned added with the 3 at the top. I think that's your 6, and you kind of figure out the way it works. And then pending health, you may need a 7th. You may need an 8th at some point during this season. You'll need them all. But I think John Schaefer made this point yesterday, and I thought it was a good one. He said, if AJ Preller, if this is his last season, like if it doesn't go well for the Padres and AJ Preller gets fired, at least he's going out his way. His way isn't to have like kind of a wimpy offseason. His way is to make a big move heading into the year. And so love him or hate him, AJ Preller did it again. He made a big move with a big name, and that guy's a Padre now.
Well, yeah, and as much as I criticize AJ Preller, I mean, it's moves like this where I go, I mean, he's got a plan. So this had to have been in the works. It's not like they just cooked it up 2 days ago.
No,
Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah, this is somebody who they've been targeting.
Yeah.
And this conversation has been my guess, happening all spring long. Because think about it. The Padres, I always say this, deadlines make decisions, not people. You can say whatever you want about whatever you want in a negotiation, but the truth is nothing's going to get settled until there's a necessity to get something settled. And so whether those deadlines are created, they're machinations of either side that we have until this date to get this done, otherwise it isn't happening. The Padres had a ticking clock in the background. They wanted to make sure that their team got on the plane with them and they left with the team they were going to start the season with. And so for Dylan Cease, 2 hours before Padres went wheels up to get traded to the Pods so he can hop out of his pinstriped White Sox uniform and put on a brown uniform and hop on the plane with the boys, like that's a big deal to get it done in the timeline that they were talking.
Check this out. Think of this, okay? He runs out on the field in like the toga. He's got like the olive branches over the ears.
You know where this is headed.
I really don't.
You don't? Look at his last name. Go ahead.
It's little Caesar.
Get out.
Picture.
That's too much.
All right.
Picture was good.
TD's taking his lap. We have halftime coming up in a moment here. We also have 2 great giveaways today. Shamrock, St. Patty's Beer Fest, downtown, Gaslamp Quarter. It's going to be a blast. We're going to send you there. We're going to send you to a concert. Slightly Stupid comes to North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That's in August. But first this.
Well, it's a sad moment with this trade yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, but Steven Wilson, who's part of the package that's going over to the White Sox, he was like sitting and chatting with a bunch of the bullpen guys about how excited they were to go to Korea. They were like hours away from getting on the plane. And then Steven Wilson gets the text that's like, hey, dude, different plane. You're going to Chicago.
Yeah. Well, dude, okay. So
that's the brutality of sports, man.
I remember training camp. We all were leaving our morning practice. This is my rookie year. This is like a kind of welcome to the NFL moment for me. We're all starting to get close with the offensive line, right? We're rookies. And these are the position group guys that you're used to talking to and chatting with. And we go into the cafeteria to grab lunch, and we find out that Russ Hochstein, who was one of our offensive line mates, was traded to Denver. And like, not just traded to Denver, but like was one of the scouts or coaches ran to the locker room, asked people, where's Russ? Where's Russ? They're like, he's in the hot tub or the cold. He's getting, so they run in there. He's sitting in the cold tub. They're like, hey, bud, you just got traded to Denver. You got to get all your things and get on a plane like now.
Oh,
and so he literally hops out of the cold tub, hops in the shower, doesn't get to say goodbye to anybody. He showers off real quick, changes back into his clothes, leaves all of his things and his family where he's lived in Foxborough for the past 7 seasons, and hops on a plane and goes to Denver. And that's just where you're playing now. Like, that's just, you just got traded for draft capital, or you just got traded because we needed a receiver. Or you got traded because we liked their defensive backfield, and sorry, you were expendable. Whew, dude, it's the worst feeling. And for the guys who love him, because I'm sure Wilson had friends on the roster. I'm going to save the best for last. I'm going to start here, though. The Philadelphia Eagles have denied impermissible contact between general manager Howie Roseman and running back Saquon Barkley during the negotiating window prior to the start of free agency. Barkley, a Penn State alum, his former coach at Penn State, James Franklin, suggested to Roseman to speak to Barkley directly during the legal tampering period, which is not allowed. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are saying they did nothing wrong, so we'll see what happens here. Maybe a fine. Maybe they'll lose a draft pick. We'll see what happens.
Doesn't everyone do it?
Well, somebody gets in trouble every year for this because they don't ever want to let the toothpaste all the way out of the tube. They want everyone to respect the rules, even though they know they don't. So they're going to fine them, my guess. Padres, like we've been talking about, acquired right-hander Dylan Cease for prospects. They traded with the White Sox prior to hopping on the plane to Korea. We're going to be talking a lot about that today. The Aztecs have their opening game of the Mountain West Conference Tournament out in Vegas. Tip-off 2:30 today against UNLV. Pregame gets underway right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 2. And then there's this story. I'm not gonna pick on anybody here. I'm just gonna read the story. just gonna read the story.
Okay, all right.
I hate that. I already know what it is.
No, wait. Let's just let it play out here.
Linebacker Eric Kendricks, who earlier on Wednesday agreed to a one-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers, has instead decided to join the Dallas Cowboys, according to sources, on a one-year deal.
Screw you, dude. We didn't want you anyways. Have fun losing.
Can we play the tape from yesterday?
If there's any way we could just grab that.
Dude, I don't want to make you do it to yourself, but it would be funny if you need to find when you're talking with such enthusiasm and excitement about Eric Kendricks joining the 49ers.
Because it was exciting. And, when somebody signs a deal, you think it's done. I didn't even know this was possible.
Well, maybe it wasn't signed.
No deal can be consummated until the league year officially opens. So every time you'll notice this.
Because of the sex.
Because of the sex. Not a single report you read up until today will say has signed with.
Right.
All of them say is signing with.
Intended to sign.
Intends to sign. Because none of these contracts are signed. So Eric Kendricks was like, tell you what, Chief, I love me some San Francisco. I like rice-a-roni.
Yeah, a lot.
I like those red trolleys.
Trolley? Mm-hmm. Trolley's cool. Oh, sourdough.
Yeah, he's 32. He old. We don't want you. He's
So
also awesome. I actually really like him.
He's a solid linebacker.
Dude, when he was with the Vikings, he was so sick.
Well, he has chosen the best team in the NFC.
What?
What?
The team that's going to lose in the first round of the playoffs every year? Enjoy, Eric.
You don't think that he makes this team better?
Yeah, he does. But he's also from Clovis, so it's like a hometown kid. So I've been kind of following his career.
Isn't he a UCLA guy?
Yeah, he was UCLA, but he grew up in Clovis. So like we knew about him when I was younger.
Yeah, Clovis, right next door to Fresno.
Yeah, I was gonna say out there in the Central Valley.
Yeah,
Clovis is actually very nice these days.
Clovis is a cool town, man. It's cool town. It's just right next to Fresno.
There's a direct pipeline from Clovis to Dallas. Long
underground.
Actually, kind of is. Like if you grow up in Clovis, I bet you've probably made your way to, if you're a huge football fan, Dallas Cowboys training camp, which is always held up in I should say down in Southern California.
Well, and Clovis is cowboy country.
Oh no, it's not. It's Niner country.
Dude, there's tons of cowboys.
They do rodeos.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Roping calves.
Cowboy hats.
There's rodeos everywhere in California. You think every Californian's a Dallas Cowboys fan?
There's a lot out here.
Yeah.
There's a ton.
Used to be America's team. Until just several months ago.
Well, I will say this. Condolences. I don't know what to say to you other than I know.
It's a good thing you're skinny.
No, we got that other defensive tackle from Houston who's pretty good. What's his name? Can't remember.
Yeah, that's how you know he's awesome.
No, he graded out at like 62 last year on PFF, so I just swiped left.
Look, Eric Kendricks wasn't the only move that came across the wire in NFL free agency as the new league year has begun as of 1:00 West Coast time yesterday. There have been a bevy of other moves. We'll update you on all those in just a moment. But first, Fletch, my goodness.
I know.
Just look at you.
It's happening. And I'm doing these like 2.5, 3 mile hikes every day now through like mountainous ranges in California.
That's right.
In the desert.
Yeah. And I don't get out of breath anymore.
Coastal desert.
And I think that the big reason I don't get out of breath anymore is because I'm not lugging around an extra 40 pounds of fat because I went to sdfatloss.com and I got hooked up with a roadmap that fits me perfectly for 2 months of losing weight at an alarming amount of speed, which if you want to do that too, if that's what you've been looking for in your life, get on over to sdfatloss.com today, schedule the free consultation, and they will lay out this roadmap for you to lose a bunch of weight within the first 2 months that you are on the program. It happened to all three of us. We couldn't believe it at times how quickly it was moving. It was getting on the scale every single day and seeing results. And that's what you want out of a weight loss program. So get on over to sdfatloss.com today. Figure out how you can lose 30 to 40 pounds within 2 months. That's what happened to each of us. And start losing weight literally today. The first 2 days on sdfatloss.com are freaking awesome, and I will stand by that till the day I die. And then it's hard work, and it's you, and it's Wayne, and it's Chloe, and you're all working together to make sure that you become the healthiest version of you. And I got to be honest, all three of us are feeling so much better today than we were about 6 months ago. So get on over to sdfatloss.com, set up your free consultation, get your roadmap, and then if you don't lose any weight within the first 10 days, you get your money back. So it's really no risk to you. And I promise you, you're going to lose the weight if you do the program. Get on over to sdfatloss.com today, sdfatloss.com.
Some more NFL free agency moves. We break them down coming up next.
This update is presented by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. Starting off with the Padres, they made their big move yesterday, acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox. Padres sent over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. College hoops, Aztecs have their first game of the Mountain West Tournament today against UNLV at 2:30. Pre-game coverage for you beginning at 2 right here on San Diego Sports 760 and the free iHeartRadio app. Over in golf, the Players' Championship underway in Florida. The unofficial 5th major of the year got going this morning. Big names teeing off a little later today. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Patrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
March 14th, a day that will live in infamy. Pie Day! Big Rich, TD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Not only will we be enjoying pie and having you vote on pies, but your vote may matter. Your vote may matter if you want to win a pair of tickets to the Shamrock St. Paddy's Day Music and Beer Festival. Tradition returns as an authentic Irish celebration takes over the streets of San Diego's historic Gas Lamp District, happening this Saturday, March 16th. Go to SanDiegoShamrock.com for tickets and info. We'll keep going. We may have a pair of tickets as well to Slightly Stupid and special guest Dirty Heads on August 24th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info, livenation.com. Oh, just keep it locked in right here. Bigger TD and Fletch.
Oh my gosh.
On a pie day.
Was this your audition to be at Puxatawny Phil's thing next year?
Oh God. Can you imagine having that gig?
No.
You've peaked.
The grandiose power of the groundhog.
They call me the thunder stick or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. All those people in that weird cult in Puxatawny have those weird names.
Crazy
you remember?
names, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Blaster Falcon, and of course,
But they were like vaguely sexual.
yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's a cult.
One of the
And
guys'
they probably sex each other.
One of the guys' name was Two Finger Gooch Punch. Hey, did you know that there's a former Penn State offensive lineman? He played there after I had left.
His name's Gooch.
His name isn't Gooch.
Oh,
his name is John Urschel, and I think he was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. I know he played for the Ravens for a stint. He played in the NFL for like 5 or 6 years, and he was a good offensive lineman. But he was a brilliant, and I mean a brilliant mathematician while he was at Penn State, so much so that he worked on like theoretical math. Like this guy was a genius. So he leaves the NFL and he goes to MIT to teach and to go to school. So he was teaching while in school. And now he's a Harvard fellow.
what?
And he's a theoretical mathematician. Like this guy is one. It's like it's the movie A Beautiful Mind. Like that's Good Will Hunting. This is him.
Are you going to take this to ... He's going to come on and talk pie with us.
So, okay, check this out. So me and John, we know each other a little bit, right?
Okay.
We're both Penn State alums and we've crossed paths, and I may have even interviewed him in the past. But I just reached out to him on Twitter yesterday, and I was just like, hey, buddy, it's International Pie Day. And I know this is no secret to a mathematician like yourself, but we couldn't think of any better way to celebrate than welcoming on a former professional football player / mathematician. So if you have time, if you have any time on this very busy holiday for a mathematician, would you mind joining our show? And he didn't get back to me all day long, so I didn't mention it to you guys. I didn't think it was going to happen, but this morning,
Oh, no.
he reaches out to me. Yeah, I could probably jump on at 6:30.
Oh,
But we've already blasted past that. So I wrote, oh, shoot, missed that. Sorry, man. Any other time. So we may or may not have John Urschel, math genius / former NFL player.
we need him.
Yeah, well, 100%. We need somebody to explain pie to us.
Oh, and also pie like you eat. I reached out to the Julian Pie Company several times.
Yeah, yeah. Tough nut to crack.
Well, it was odd. The first go round, I spoke to someone and I explained who I was and what we were doing. And then there was about a maybe 8-second pause. And then the guy goes, what are you doing again? And
There was a moment last night when I was like folding Cool Whip into my pie batter
Mhm.
that I was thinking we really should have just bought 3 Julian pies because they're so good.
Yeah, it would have been. That would have been easier.
I love the fact that throughout this building, when we would first tell people, like when this show first came together, when we would first tell people what we were up to, they'd be like, "You're doing what?
Yeah.
What are you? How?" And we'd be like, "Well, we're gonna bring ovens in, and we're what? Why?" And now when we go around and tell people, like I was just talking to somebody over at Kogo News. I was like, "Yeah, we're making pies today, and we're having a pie eating contest. Would you want to be a judge?" Or like, "What time?"
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a question. It's like, "Yeah, it's International Pie Day." Yeah, we figured. What time? Yeah. So, anyways, gonna be a big show today. Big show. We have a pie contest. The three of us made pies later to be judged on air.
Exactly right. Now you have to finish your pie.
Yeah, I do.
How long is it going to take?
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that question. I know that I need to. Well, I don't want to say.
You have to bake.
I don't want to give anything away because we are going to post these on Twitter.
Mhm.
We're going to showcase our pies and have our listeners vote on which one looks the best.
Okay, so is there going to be? We need like 3 different categories here, like visual representation. Who wins that?
That's really good idea.
Like a taste test. Who wins that? And then what? I don't know what the third one could be.
I guess taste test, visual, and then
Most Riz.
Did you just use the word Riz?
Yep.
Damn it, Fletch. You know what? That one's passed you by. We'll let you go with dank, but Riz.
Wait, why is Riz past me? No, it's my generation.
No.
Wait,
That is not your generation.
You said I'm too old for something? I'm 27.
Do you say cap or no cap?
Nah, just occasionally. I think I've said it on the show before.
Yeah, see, that even we may let go because you might sneak under the wire for cap, no cap, but Riz, no.
Because cap, no cap, you can play it off as I'm making fun of it.
In fact,
It's true. I feel like you have to be single when you say the word Riz, and to be single at 27, you probably don't have any Riz. And I'm not single.
I will say
J-Riff not single, but not married.
Yeah.
Could he say Riz?
He's only 26. It's not like he's that much younger than me.
I was going to say, yeah, it's past J-Riff. That's like a high school, like it's like an 18-year-old, like a high school senior to sophomore in college right now should be the ones using the word Riz.
Right. Because if J-Riff said Riz at home, Jenna would be like, get out.
You ever okay, there's certain podcasts, I'm not going to embarrass anybody, but
go ahead.
You ever watch a podcast or you listen to a podcast and there's somebody like our age, like, late 20s, early 30s, or into their 40s, who starts using like the verbal lexicon of the youth today, and it legitimate, it irks you to the core where you're like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's how I know that I'm getting old.
It feels like you're hitting on chicks like outside of high school. It's like, y'all want to suck on a chili dog outside of Tasty Freeze?
Start like the angry Clint Eastwood character he plays in every movie. As you start to creep through your 40s, you're like, yeah, I get it. I understand it now.
Yeah.
the whole get off my lawn thing, starting to make sense.
Turns out I do want to own a Gran Torino.
God, that's a heartbreaking movie.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, but it's good. That's a good one. Some good and happening in the NFL too, if you're a Cowboy fan, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, right? The Cowboys really haven't done anything huge.
Well, they finally did something.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
did
like
something.
we're some poking at him with a stick.
Yeah.
I wonder if Skip Bayless's
You guys
comma-filled
alive?
tweet made the Cowboys go out and steal Eric Kendricks away from the 49ers.
It's possible.
How does that work? Like, if you're Eric Kendricks, try to put yourself in his mind.
Yeah.
There's the team that was just in the Super Bowl coming after you, and then there's the Dallas Cowboys coming after you. To me, it had to be like state income tax. Like, that was a big factor, or like where he's living. Because I'll admit, like, being up in Northern California, kind of a crappy place to live, especially if you're in the Bay Area, with how expensive it is, how clustered it is. Like, I'd probably rather live in Texas too.
Oh, dude. I mean, just city to city from a lifestyle standpoint, like San Francisco is crumbling compared to Dallas.
Yeah, San Francisco sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because when I was visiting San Francisco playing against the 49ers during my career, like, it legitimately was a road trip I was excited for, because even though you're out in Santa Clara, you could take a quick Uber ride and you could go enjoy a night out. And that city was vibrant. It was fun. There were restaurants everywhere, people around. It was safe. Now it's just taken a nosedive. And so I'm sure Eric Kendricks on a visit with the Niners, or over the course of his time playing against the Niners during his time with the Vikings and Chargers is like, yeah, I mean, if they sign me, the money's right. Nobody else wants me. I'm going to play for the Niners. But then Dallas enters the fold. And like you said, state income tax, and then, potentially more money. It's
bigger
a
house.
It's a 1 year deal.
Well, and he's also 32 years old. I think I have that right. So he's probably, this is one of the last contracts, if not the last contract he's going to sign. So if he's thinking about a place to set up his family for the future, I would probably pick Dallas also.
Well, I wouldn't think anywhere past this year. I the guy's had a long NFL career. He may have his home set up elsewhere. That doesn't really play a role, but like, quality of life for the 1 year, yeah. And then also that other piece to it, like maximizing the amount of income you can make on a 1 year deal. If they're offering me $800,000 more, for example, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal was with the Niners versus the Dallas Cowboys, but that doesn't sound like life-changing money. Well, it friggin' is, like, when you're down the stretch of your career.
And it is if in San Francisco, of that $800,000, $400,000 of it's gone immediately. Whereas in Dallas, $800,000 is $800,000.
Well, not quite.
Yeah.
That's not how
Mostly.
That's not how,
It's like,
Don't they have no state income tax?
yeah, but we pay 14% here?
yeah, I mean, the state income tax isn't where it's hitting them. It's the feds.
Yeah,
Don't worry, they're getting it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
still, it's 14%. It's
Right.
still 14%. It's still a significant amount of money that you save versus going to Dallas. Like,
Philip letting us know Mike Zimmer was his old coach, and now he's the DC in Dallas. Had to be a big factor. That's got to be something too, because Zimmer was the coach in Minnesota when Eric Kendricks had his best years. If he's the DC in Dallas now,
you guys see
100%.
that Bengals fans are trying to will Justin Jefferson on their team?
not only Bengals fans, Jamar Chase is putting stuff out on Twitter.
Yeah, the Twitterverse is lighting up. However, Justin Jefferson doesn't really sound like he's going anywhere. I don't know if you heard him talk about who he wants to play quarterback. Did you guys hear this?
No.
I put the sound in the grid there at 6:30. If you'd like to hear Justin Jefferson speak about who he'd like to see out in Minnesota throwing to him.
Yeah, that's not happening. You're not trading Justin Fields to a division rival. So I get it. Like, I know that the fan base out in Minnesota has bet up Justin Fields to be a favorite for this. And you look at Vegas and you say, well, Vegas doesn't get a lot wrong, but futures are tricky because you could have an excitable fan base increase the odds for a certain candidate for Heisman races. We saw this with the Colorado Shedeur Sanders. Early in the football season, he was a favorite to win the Heisman. Why? Because he had an incredible game against TCU. And then after that, it settled down. It got back to Caleb Williams and then, the Jaden Daniels. Like it switches, it changes. So I get it. I know there's a lot of people who think that Fields can be traded to the Vikings. If that happens, it would astound me because forever that Ryan Poles as a general manager, not just now with the Bears, but for the rest of his career as a personnel director, he's going to be linked to, if this works out for the Vikings with Justin Fields, to one of the worst trades in the history of the NFL.
Right. No, I get it. But Justin Jefferson sounds to me like they've told him, you're not going anywhere, pal. You're here. How do you make him happy if you don't bring over Justin Fields now?
You know what Justin Jefferson needs to do? He needs to build some relationships. What better way to build some relationships than out on the golf course? Because when you golf with somebody, it feels like you know them for life, right?
Yeah.
I think that's when this show really came together, is when we started golfing together. And if you're an avid golfer, if you're a bad golfer, if you just want to start playing some more golf, get over to primetimes.golf today. It does not matter your skill level. I was asked that question yesterday. Look, I'm the one talking to you about it. I am not a good golfer. And primetimes.golf, it's an awesome platform, man. And as baseball season gets a little closer, we're like 6 days away from the Padres' first game. There is a San Diego baseball group on primetimes.golf that I'm a part of. You should join it today. The first event for this group is going to be next Friday at the Vineyard in Escondido. Depending on Aztecs March Madness times, I'm going to be at that event. So go sign up today at primetimes.golf. Primetimes.golf is going to create the pairings, the foursomes with the best strategic alignment possible. And of course, there's going to be that open seating table reserved for us at the clubhouse after the golf. So we can talk. We can talk about Dylan Cease coming over to the Padres here. So get on over to primetimes.golf today. Register early so that primetimes.golf, they can work on the optimal pairings and groupings, whether you're looking for networking golf or value golf, which the value golf, come on, $110 for 3 rounds of golf in a month. You can't beat that anywhere else. Just go play with some other baseball fans. Go play with some other businessmen and women in San Diego. Primetimes.golf is the place to be. When you open up primetimes.golf today, the first thing you're going to see is this event next Friday out at the Vineyard. So go sign up, get ready to hit the links, talk some baseball while you're at it, talk some business while you're at it. Primetimes.golf.
Did they break him or did they just bend him? That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on International Pie Day.
Like, what's that smell?
Yeah, there's so many things happening right now.
Booty cheeks.
There's an oven behind us. It's fired up.
Things are happening. It's gonna get real warm in this studio.
It's fine.
Pie Day. It's Pie Day. We're gonna have a pie contest coming up later in the show. Fletch, myself, TD, we have all prepared pies. Actually, they've prepared pies. Mine's yet to be finished.
It's a tricky night though.
Yeah. We got after it a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna pop mine. Oh, I shouldn't give away what I'm doing.
You know, TD, he hasn't told us who he went to dinner with last night. And in my head, I've just been assuming it's been Jared Smith and Brian No. And maybe like Mike Harmon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that or I feel like maybe you were instrumental in a Dylan Cease signing.
Well,
Was it AJ Preller?
No,
he only eats at Olive
I
Garden.
am not going to divulge who I was out to dinner with. Okay. I think some of these things we share with each other.
You know what?
And
I
some of
want
these
your
things-
location on my phone now. Okay.
Well,
You're gonna track my location. You know what? You know who you sound like? The NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like, stay off my phone, dog. Stay off my snap. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they're getting in trouble because they've quote unquote violated the anti-tampering rules
here
in
we
the
go
NFL.
again.
This is so dumb. Every year it's like spin the wheel to see who ends up getting popped for tampering.
It's really smoky.
Yeah.
But whatever's in the bottom is burning there.
Yeah. We're gonna burn it off before we put the pie in. That's for sure.
I mean, does any alarms go off here?
Well,
Yeah.
we've created 2 fires in here, so I think we're safe.
It's true. True. Here comes number 3.
Well, actually, last night we were nearly in this situation. I'll tell that story after.
Sorry.
So the Philadelphia Eagles have denied impermissible contact between general manager and Howie Roseman and running back Saquon Barkley during the negotiating window prior to the end of free agency. Barkley, a Penn State alum and Pennsylvania native, agreed to terms with the Eagles. Blah, blah. His former coach at Penn State, James Franklin, suggested Roseman spoke to Barkley directly during the legal tampering period, which is not allowed, said Franklin. For him now to come back and be able to play within the state.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like you're on fire.
Yeah. No, it's
There is
fine.
a lot of smoke, isn't there?
And it's beeping.
Well, it was beeping because it said add food. Yeah. It turned off. There's like cheese at the bottom is the problem.
Like, I didn't want to interrupt Rich reading the ESPN
It's
article.
hot. Don't do that.
Ow!
Just leave it be.
Oh, you know who did this?
I know who did that.
You see what's in there?
Somebody made like a hamburger in this
We
thing.
know who
Yeah.
did this.
It's like a small meatloaf on the bottom. Just leave it be, man. It'll be fine.
I mean, important notes like the NFL's mad at the Eagles. Saquon Barkley, they may have done something illegal when talking to him. Like, that's the important stuff.
There we go.
Did Rich
the one-
cuss?
Yeah. There was an S-bomb that was dropped.
I made it so much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, round 3 of this.
Madness happening in the studio right
The
now.
Eagles might be in trouble because they might have tampered with Saquon Barkley. They're denying it. The NFL's going
yeah,
after him.
Big old whoopsies.
So,
We're gonna
Prize
need
Picks.
napkins.
What-
We're gonna need
Prize Picks, yes.
Prize Picks.
Which, by the way, I think this is dumb on all aspects.
It is
Oh,
dumb.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it happens
every
every
part
year.
of this is so dumb. But-
$1,115.85. That's a arbitrary number. Who knows what that is? I know what that is. That is the amount of money I have won on Prize Picks since I first started telling you about Prize Picks. It's been really incredible and honestly kind of life-changing for me. But Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 3 million active members. It's the easiest, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike some of those other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. That's why I've had success with it, because I'm not playing against sharks. I'm not playing against other professional Prize Picks people. I'm just playing against the numbers, more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can watch the winnings roll in if you have the skills. Prize Picks, super simple to play. I'm making a lineup right now for the Players Championship out in Florida, and I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. And the quick withdrawals, they're no joke, man. This past weekend, I had back-to-back days where I won on a college basketball entry and I won on an NBA entry. And by Monday morning, that money was in my bank account. So if you have the skills, make Prize Picks the way you pay for some of your bills. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get a first deposit match up to $100. That's code Fletch on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Coming up in hour 2, we eat the pie. It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by eBay Motors. We will start off here with the Padres, who made their move yesterday. It's the big one, acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox to add to the top of their starting rotation. Cease was the White Sox ace. He is 28 years old. He's been a workhorse over the last 3 years. Padres sent over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. Cease is under an $8 million contract this year. Next year will be available for arbitration for the Padres. College hoops, Aztecs play their first game in the Mountain West tournament today against UNLV at 2:30. We got pregame coverage for you beginning at 2. Uncle Teddy will have the tip at 2:30 right here on 760. And in golf, Players Championship is underway in Florida. The unofficial 5th major gets going this morning. eBay Motors here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply.
Oh, happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Happy Pi Day to all.
Yeah. We're getting it under control in here.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
There's just a light haze of smoke now.
Yeah, no, it's
No
going to
big
be
deal.
fine. It's going to be fine. This isn't our first time setting a fire in studio.
There's a pie in the oven.
It's actually the 3rd time we set fire to this studio.
Well, what's great, Rich was like in the middle of reading this Saquon Barkley story, and I'm like looking over his shoulder, and it looks like there's a chimney attached to his back because it just keeps going a little more, a little more, a little more. It finally got to the point where I'm like, that's not normal. Rich.
So yeah, thank you
It's
for
fine.
alerting me to that. There was a small grease fire in the oven behind me, which I was very quickly able to tamp out.
Okay. Hold on. Why in God's name does someone go, you know what I should do is take this 80-20 I got at home and go cook it in the, the toaster oven at work? What's going on?
And someone could also ask why in God's name do the 3 guys in the morning steal the toaster oven from the break room and make pies in it during the show?
Well, because that's necessary.
Yeah, please. I
Just
mean,
say one could ask.
No, well, that'd be a dumb question.
it's radio. They get it,
Our Master Chef table is now set up.
dude.
It's working.
We have such a special day for 3 of the people in this building, but also for all of our listeners. We're going to be competing against each other in international Pi Day competition, right?
Yeah.
You made a pie. Fletch made a pie. I myself made a pie. None of us are going to divulge to the listening audience, nor our judges, which pies we've made. This is going to be well, I shouldn't call it a blind taste test. They're all going to be able to look at the pies, visually inspect the pies, but nobody's going to be able to attach any personality to the pie. They're going to be judged on their merits, not on, hey, but Fletch is my favorite, or but TD, he makes the best pies. None of that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Looking at this now, I thought, we should have done is each chosen a pie for us to make and like make it the hardest pie possible.
That would have been so funny. Yeah.
And you come in with a disaster.
Yeah.
But like Fletcher's is perfect.
I realized very quickly yesterday, it's impossible to like make a tough pie in a condo small kitchen without any of the like equipment. Like I don't have a stand-up mixer or food processor or any of the stuff that you need to like make the pie crust and everything.
Yeah.
So I made like the easiest pie I could possibly make.
So check this out. I told you in the first hour that I was reaching out to John Urschel.
Yes.
Who would be joining us on the show if he had time today, who was a former Penn State offensive lineman, former NFL offensive lineman, and current MIT professor of mathematics and Harvard fellow. So he gets back to me, right? And he says, hey, I can hop on at 6:30, but we are already into the 6:30 segment. So I go, buddy, I'm so sorry I missed this. Is there any other times? This is legitimately the message we get back. No worries, man. Unfortunately, I'm busy the rest of the day. Right now is open house for MIT math. So we've got a bunch of prospective PhD students here. So I'm busy with recruiting stuff.
I feel like we had him on anyways.
So I write back to him, dude, not a problem. We're literally baking pies in studio and talking NFL free agency. You have actual work to do. So we're going to catch up with John a different day.
Yeah.
We did get a text this morning based on yesterday's show from the 913, and I just lost it. But TD, have you had any pee trouble since yesterday? And have you used the trick that Richie taught you?
You know what? I haven't used the trick. Next break, I'll do it. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
We'll see what
Look,
happens.
I'm glad to
Please
hear.
wash your hands
Ding,
after.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
I got to wash my hands because I'm going to be
Make sure you give it
I'm
the
gonna be
triple.
elbow deep in pie.
That's right. That's right. Make sure you give it the triple pump.
Yeah. Like when you roll up to the gas station, you roll over that little cord. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It's a pressure sensor. Just to alert everybody. Look here, Dylan Cease is now a Padre. For anybody who's catching up on the fly here, this guy, he is the deal that everybody's been waiting for. The Padres really have been in a slowdown since the offseason. Yuki Matsui was a signing people were excited about, but really it felt like they needed an arm in the rotation since they lost Blake Snell, and they traded for one. So before they leave for Seoul, South Korea, the former White Sox jumps over on their plane, and he's heading off to pitch against the Dodgers.
I don't think he's going.
You don't think?
I don't think he's going to Seoul.
Well, actually, they don't need him out there because it's only a 2-game series.
Right. They also left like yesterday, probably 3 hours after that deal was done. So
I would want to get on the plane if I were him.
So would I. I think it's just a cool opportunity. Now, I did not bring this up in the first hour, but it is something I looked up last night, and the text line confirmed it this morning. So I'll bring it up now. Do you know what position Dylan Cease played in high school and what he was recruited to go to college to?
Oh my God,
Shortstop.
Oh my God. Thank you.
But
dear God.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people who end up in the majors, they played shortstop at one point because they were the best athlete on their team.
Please tell me, though, at some point in his life, we need to dig up whether or not Luis Campusano played a little short.
I'm sure he did.
We need to find it just so we can say the full starting 9 at some point or another played shortstop.
Well, there's a realistic shot that Dylan Cease is going to be your game 1 starter in a playoff series because he is that good. Like he has ace stuff, and we'll see what happens with Musgrove and Darvish this year. But there's a chance that Dylan Cease is your ace this year.
There is a chance. Like there's a good chance he's that kind of pitcher when he's on. Now, last year, again, if you go back and look at him statistically, a little bit of a rough year. His 2022 certainly was good. His 2021 was good as well. So when you review him in totality as a major leaguer,
oh no,
what
Campy was a first baseman in high school.
Yeah, I know, but we don't know what he played in college, though, right?
He converted to catcher his junior year of
that.
high school.
Just there was never a time,
probably Little League.
Maybe we can get a hold of his Little League coach.
We should probably do that. Ben, get on the horn. So yesterday, obviously a lot of free agent news, but the news that came down that was arguably the most franchise changing was Kirk Cousins going to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Captain Kirk, is beloved by that locker room, by that coaching staff, by the city of Minneapolis, Minnesotans. Actually, I will say this. Just from speaking with some people out of Minnesota, and we've got family out there, so I catch up with people out there. The room's kind of divided on Kirk Cousins because he hasn't delivered them to the playoff prominence they were hoping for.
One playoff win in 4 tries throughout his career, and the dude's made over $400 million.
And only, I believe, 1 playoff berth altogether. No, maybe it was
2 in Minnesota.
2 in Minnesota.
1 win, and he was 0 for 2 when he was with Washington.
Unfortunate that it's been that way, but very fortunate how he's been able to work these contracts because he's a very rich man. Over the span of his career, he's made a lot more money than Tom Brady.
Over 400 mil.
So you look at that, pretty cool.
You see Cam Newton had some thoughts on old Kirk Cousins?
I saw that. Actually, we'll play that sound next. Let's play Kirk saying goodbye to Minnesota first. Here's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Could you pause it for a second? Because there's this feeling as I listen to this. If you watch the video, while you listen to it, it looks like a hostage video. like it's just Kirk sitting with a relatively plain background. It looks like Augusta National is on a picture behind him.
That's totally Augusta. It has the azaleas.
His button-up shirt is buttoned all the way to the top, and he's delivering this message like, and I don't know if Daddy's ever coming home, but I just want everybody to know that I love them dearly and that I'm safe for now.
Say something nice about the Vikings now.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they hand him a newspaper. They told me to hold this up so you could see that today's date is accurate. It is International Pie Day. Like it comes off very sincere, but Kirk Cousins either looks like a serial killer reading his manuscript, like his
Manifesto.
It's his manifesto.
I'm gonna say right now on this pie that's baking behind us, it smells delicious, but I'm gonna guess it's getting a little brown on the crust.
Ooh,
right
hang
now.
on. We're gonna check in.
Go grab some potholders though before you just reach in on that.
The thing with Kirk Cousins, and I kind of, he is like the ultimate cringe, but he's so productive that it doesn't matter. But yesterday when he got introduced at the Falcons, they did this whole behind the scenes video of him like showing up, signing his contract, going to the podium and talking to the people of Atlanta for the first time. And he had his 2 kids right next to him. And he looked right at the camera and said, "Boys, we got a new dance to learn tonight. It's called the Dirty Bird Dance. You ready for this?" He's kind of an eye roll, but he's also the eye roll that's made $400 million. So how much can you really roll your eyes? Because he's the winner.
Yeah, what's crazy though, of the $400 million he's going to make in his career, half of that is in the last 4.
Y'all ready for this?
What I also really like about Kirk Cousins is he's the opposite of Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson's also extremely cringy. Kirk Cousins is very cringy, but it's him.
Yeah, well, see,
It is so 100% authentic.
Right.
that's the thing. That's
And he's
the thing.
in on the joke the whole time. Like he even was wearing the new chain that he got that said Dirty Birds on it for the Falcons. And he had both his kids wearing it. Like he is so authentically cringy Cole's dad that it works for him.
Yeah, but that's not cringy to me.
Because you are the same thing.
Well,
You are Kirk Cousins.
I mean, we have the same body thanks to stfatloss.com. No, not yet.
yeah. Well, yeah, it is true though. Like what you see in Kirk is what you see is what you get. Like what I see in Russell Wilson is I'm really not sure who he is.
We have no idea.
Authenticity is likable and lovable.
Right.
Yeah. So a fake is cringy and you hate it. You despise it.
Yeah. And also when somebody is overwhelmingly cool or overwhelmingly popular, you automatically assume like, it's too good to be true. You know what I mean? So but there's none of that with Kirk Cousins, like, because he's not going out of his way to be cool. He's also not going out of his way not to be cool. He's just who he is. And it comes off, like you said, likable. I think I'm going to take this pie out of the oven.
And he's fine with it. That's the thing. I mean, he's comfortable in being that goofy dad. So that's what makes it fun. Well, if you haven't heard, we mentioned it right here at the top of the hour, but Padres have signed right-hander Dylan Cease. Yeah, that brings their pitcher count to 3.
Well, I mean, at least we got the 5 now that they know they're going to start the year with.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Hold on. As I joke about it, the comfort level with the Padres increased significantly with me as a fan in the past 12 hours. I mean, you start to feel like, okay, hold on here. They could have a team. But as the Padres finished up their time in Peoria, they did it with a 12-11 win over the A's, arguably one of the best teams in the league, arguably. Padres are now in Seoul, South Korea. At least I think they are.
They are.
Along with our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acey.
He got there earlier.
Ooh,
yeah, the Padres kind of screwed Kevin on this one because he was in the air when the news broke.
Wow.
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 Yeah.
In the NFL, Eric Kendrick signed with the Niners and then thought, well, this place sucks. After originally agreeing to a 1-year deal with the Niners, Kendrick changed his mind, jumped ship. Now he's going to be with the Cowboys, the best team.
Here we go. Do it to us.
These are getting rough. Like, are we getting close to the end of the season here in the NBA? Good God. In the NBA, some scores. Landy Reid did the Hawks 106-102.
Oh, good Lord.
Sacramento, the Spider-Verse, the Lakers 120-107. Dallas and Wonderland did the Warriors 109-99.
That was great.
Cleveland landslide will bring you down. The Pelicans 116-95. Charlotte's wrapped the Grizzlies 110-98. This is where it gets really off the rails here, guys. Ulcerative colitis, the Pacers. That's an ulcer.
Ulcerative colitis?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's an ulcer of the colon.
132-129. They did that in overtime. Veronica Mars to the Heat 188.
Kristen Bell, great show.
Yeah, great show. Great show. I've never seen it, but Kristen Bell, solid.
Yeah.
Um,
Shepard.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Magic Mud, the Nets.
Wow. Wow.
114-106. And the Piss Stonewall Jackson, the Raptors 113-104.
Civil War general? Stonewall Jackson?
I don't want you to think you're like a hostage and you have to do this every day. If your heart's not in it, you can stop.
No. I'm struggling. That's all. I'm struggling not to repeat. So, I'll try to get back on my game here.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Let's, in the midst of pie making.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cam Newton. So Cam Newton, often controversial throughout the course of his career, his media career following his playing career has gone very similarly. You mentioned it, Fletch. He's been like roasting quarterbacks.
He's got an issue with Brock Purdy.
He does.
He's got issues with Kirk Cousins.
He does.
He had issues with Ryan Tannehill.
He does.
I'm like, why is this guy who's not in the league anymore, who's not getting paychecks from the NFL, the one who's roasting the quarterbacks who are still playing?
Because he wants back in. He wants back in. I do think that Cam Newton, part of this is because, in his honest opinion, the things he's saying is true and he's being authentic to his opinions. The other side of me thinks, like, if he's the first of the dissenting opinions on these quarterbacks and they start to falter, does it increase his odds of getting signed? Maybe in his brain, it does.
Well, it's a sales pitch.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, so it's as much as he wants to tout how good he is at something, he wants to show why he's better than whatever player you have on your team currently.
Here's Cam Newton on Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith?
I mean, Alex Smith.
I would go Cousins on this.
Alex Smith. Well,
Dude, take it from someone who was like a diehard Alex Smith fan. I would go Kirk Cousins on this.
Here's the thing.
I firmly believe if Alex Smith never got concussed, the Niners win that Super Bowl. When Colin Kaepernick took over before the playoffs.
Are you making an argument for Alex Smith?
Yeah,
or
I'm
Kirk
confused.
Cousins?
No, I would take Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying I was a diehard Alex Smith fan. Kirk Cousins is a far better quarterback.
So I get what you're saying. Look, the reason why I say Alex Smith so quickly is because of the hit rate. Like, I mean, he had that experience going to the playoff time and time again. Now, don't get me wrong. The reason why they moved off of him is similar to the argument being made against a Dak Prescott, who's had 7 trips to the postseason, only 2 wins. Or honestly, a conversation we need to have about Kirk Cousins. Is he worth the amount of money that teams have spent on him with the results in the postseason? And that's a plausible argument that Cam Newton is launching here. And Cam Newton, former MVP, Super Bowl contender. I mean, this guy was inarguably one of the most talented players in the league for many years that he was playing. He's not saying anything that's wrong. it's just sometimes the source tweaks the story a little bit.
Well, let's do this. Instead of Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins, Cam Newton, Kirk Cousins. Like, I'm taking Kirk Cousins every day.
Without a doubt. Well,
See, again, I'm going Cam Newton.
Well, okay, you're
Really?
going
Over Kirk
2015
Cousins?
Cam Newton, sure.
Yeah,
Superman
but-
Cam Newton, sure.
But you mean current day Cam Newton? No.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm taking Kirk Cousins over.
Or
current
even,
day
how
Cam
about
Newton. Yes.
Cam Newton every year except his MVP season? I think I'm taking Kirk Cousins.
No. Kirk Cousins, like before he was an MVP, was also incredible. He was incredible.
And he had the intangibles that I don't think we've ever seen from any quarterback. The way he was the strongest player on the field from the quarterback position. You couldn't tackle him. All those things are true. Kirk Cousins is a much better thrower of the football.
Oh, I'm not arguing that, but the dimension and dynamic to Cam Newton's game when he was in his prime, like you said, was unmatched across the NFL. And really, until Josh Allen, we hadn't seen rare, raw athletic ability like that from a player of his size at that position up until then. So it really is tough. Look, I mean, it's not splitting hairs back then, but right now it's very clear to me. Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback today in 2024 than Cam Newton. So if that's the deal, if he's whining about not being signed and Kirk Cousins getting a huge contract, it's sour grapes.
mhm.
But the reality of the situation is Kirk Cousins, he can change the fortune for Atlanta. We've seen it before with lesser quarterbacks. I think Kirk is a pretty good signing for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Got to talk on International Pie Day, where I'm sure the rest of the Americas are going to join us in indulging in a little pie.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the only way to celebrate Pie Day.
Right.
But we're going to celebrate Pie Day responsibly.
Yeah.
Because-
80-20.
Yeah, that's right.
80-20.
Yeah, you got to treat yourself, but also you got to rein it in. If 80% of your diet is sticking to the plan, is with your eye on maintaining your weight or losing weight, you're doing the right thing. And that's exactly what we've learned, and many other helpful hints from sdfatloss.com. Our weight loss coaches, Wayne and Chloe, who actually we're going to be spending some time with today. They're going to come on down to the iHeart studios. We're excited to see them here in San Diego. They've been phenomenal shepherds to better health for us. We were lost. I mean, to put it in plain English, we were lost. The three of us that try to lose weight, we gained it all back several times over. That's yo-yo dieting. It's not what you want. It's bad for your heart. It's bad for your life. It's bad for your self-confidence. With sdfatloss.com, they've devised a plan where you lose all the weight and you keep it off. So if you have set some New Year's resolutions that you haven't stuck to and you're looking at the calendar, you're like, we're just coming up on the Ides of March here, and I am still in the weeds. It's time to go to sdfatloss.com. Do it with a spouse, do it with a significant other, a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a group of pals. That's the way we've had the most success. It's the best thing you could do for yourself this year. sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com.
I got some laps to make up and a sneaky signing for a shot at the South. We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by the Jim Trail Real Estate Team. We will start off with the Padres. They made their big move yesterday, acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox. That adds to the start of the top of their starting rotation. Cease was the White Sox ace. He is 28 years old. He's been a workhorse over the last 3 years. Padres sending over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. College hoops, Aztecs playing their first game in the Mountain West tournament today against UNLV at 2:30. We got pregame coverage for you beginning at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Uncle Teddy will be on the call at 2:30. Listen to it here on San Diego Sports 760 or the free iHeartRadio app. And in golf, the Players' Championship is underway in Florida. It's the unofficial 5th major of the year, and it's already gotten off to a good start. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for some tournament action.
It's
I'm
already
fired
here,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
The last couple of days have been crazy with the different conference tournaments. Bummer for San Diego State women's basketball, by the way. They fall in the Mountain West Championship game last night to UNLV.
Yeah.
It was a good one for the first half. It was tied at halftime, and then they kind of fell apart in the second half. But bummer.
Yeah, big time. Big time. It's Big Rich Sheedy and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. So a couple giveaways to do here. Shamrock tickets, Slightly Stupid tickets. Meanwhile, guys, before we jump into anything, you know, the bullet train that they're talking about building, there's going to be one that's supposed to go from Southern California here to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Nonstop, back and forth. It was going to be cheap to take, less expensive than a plane. They're estimating tickets for a round trip. I was going to say flight trip, $400.
I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, Southwest is like 40.
Yeah. You could go on Spirit Airlines. And honestly, if you know how to fly the plane, they'll let you do it for free. It's unreal.
I feel like I've gotten to Vegas and back for less than $80.
What is it, a Legion Air?
Yeah, there's a couple of them that fly super cheap. That's ridiculous. Why?
Look, it's not done. They just threw a number out there. I'm assuming because of the cost of this thing.
Yeah.
Are there slot machines on the train?
Yeah, right. I mean, you would think so, but I'm I'm going to guess that's not going to work.
You could fly Allegiant to Vegas for $5 if you go as carry-on.
If I packed myself in a cardboard box and shipped myself UPS, I could be there and back for $34.
Here we go. Southwest later this afternoon, $49 to Las Vegas.
I mean, come on.
They're ridiculous.
I mean, I could drive there for $200 driving back.
And you're spending billions of dollars in infrastructure for something nobody's going to use.
That's correct.
Nonstop Frontier, $48 later this afternoon.
Let's hop on a flight to Vegas.
That sounds good. Sounds
Mountain
good.
West Tournament, bring it on, dude.
Right?
Yeah. So today, actually, we'll get into that in just a moment. And also, we're going to give away our first pair of tickets in just about 5 minutes. We're going to tell you how to win those because we have to.
Yes.
We have a pie judging contest to get to on the other side as well.
It's going to be a
very busy day.
Yes, absolutely.
Before we get to any of that, because we do want to talk Aztecs, we do want to give away those tickets, but we have to focus our gaze on the NFC South, who all of a sudden, the Tennessee Titans low-key have a monster offense. They are just waiting for the final ingredient,
which is a quarterback.
So check this out. All of a sudden, you signed a $92 million contract with Calvin Ridley. He joins DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks, arguably two of the best pass catchers in the league, and you're waiting for a quarterback. You have Will Levis on the roster. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill's a free agent. He's leaving. I don't know. Is there, let me think, an NFC quarterback who has been up for trade for a while that if all of a sudden you paired with a couple,
he wants out of somewhere.
He wants out of somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like what it's out of the conference. It would make sense.
Vikings are looking for a quarterback, but I don't know if that makes sense there.
Oh, I know. Justin Fields.
That's right. Yeah.
This feels to me the reason why the Tennessee Titans made this deal with Calvin Ridley is to feather the bed for a soft landing for Justin Fields. Every single box checked. Ryan Poles, the general manager in Chicago, said, I want to set up Justin for a good future where he goes next. I want to take care of Justin. Check. Okay. You want to maximize your draft value. Tennessee Titans probably not parting with a first-round draft pick, but you could probably get some good value from the Tennessee Titans based on desperation at that position. Check.
So, serious question, though.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Calvin Ridley or A.J. Brown?
Oh, A.J. Brown.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the drama and why A.J. Brown ended up going to the Eagles was because the Tennessee Titans didn't want to pay him $90 million.
Yeah.
They just paid Calvin Ridley $92 million.
Younger.
Is Calvin Ridley younger than A.J. Brown?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure. That's the only argument I think I can make in the direction of the Tennessee Titans. Outside of that, I mean,
Calvin Ridley's 29. A.J. Brown's not 29.
Calvin Ridley's 29.
A.J. Brown's 26.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but you have Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. You're paying both of them a boatload of money. You could have knocked out two birds with one stone with A.J. Brown. He's better than both of them.
How long has Calvin Ridley been in the league? Because he missed a year. So, I mean, that factors in too.
Man, I mean, the Titans
was drafted in 2018.
Yeah.
Titans need to do something. So, I mean, adding to this team is detrimental because to me, the Texans are winning this offseason. I mean, they are loading up over here. So the Titans have to do something if they want to compete. The Colts, sneaky good. I think the Jaguars are going to be the last place team in this division.
Yeah. I mean, it's very possible. I mean, when you look at the Jaguars, the year that they're coming off of, and some of the moves that they made, I mean, the most notable move in free agency for the Jaguars is trading for Mac Jones. I mean, outside of that, it's hard to remember anything else that they've done so far.
Good Lord.
I think the Titans have been pretty poorly managed, and that's just one example. But the fact that, and on another honest question, Justin Fields or Will Levis, I kind of have them on almost equal playing field because Will Levis, if we remember correctly, had a pretty awesome 3-game stretch last year. And you probably want to see what you have in him before you make some sort of move to get a Justin Fields, who, by the way, hasn't won in Chicago. And I'm a Justin Fields fan.
Yeah, there was a middle part of the season where all of a sudden all the rookie quarterbacks look like there's some spark there.
What's so fascinating, by the way, about that comparison you just made, Fletch, between A.J. Brown and Calvin Ridley is Calvin Ridley is older. They've played the exact number of seasons because of the suspension.
Because Calvin Ridley bet.
Yeah.
And so he was out for a year.
He was suspended for an entire season. So they both played 5 full seasons. They could have had A.J. Brown instead. They signed
for $2 million less.
Yeah.
Yeah, they signed Calvin Ridley years later, who's approaching 30. Look, the Tennessee Titans have made some bad decisions, which leads me back to the original point of the conversation, which is with Justin Fields. My goodness, like Justin Fields could arguably be a franchise altering decision depending on how much you trade for him, for the good or the bad. Like, we still don't really know who he is in this league. It could work out gangbusters for a team that has a lot of offensive talent around him. It also could fail. It could be a complete flop. But you got to figure, with names like DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Treylon Burks around him, plus Tajay Spears, is he still there in Tennessee? I believe he's still in that backfield because they basically handed it over after Derrick Henry left in free agency.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year.
So you have talent. There's no question. You just need a quarterback. So the Titans rocket up to the top of the list, in my opinion, on the Justin Fields potential signing place or trade place.
It seems like the number one spot.
It
and
has
now,
to be.
yeah, I mean, for a multitude of reasons. Because if you could take the division out of it, I feel like the Vikings, that would be the go-to place. But like you said, they're not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
It's International Pie Day. We have a pie competition coming up in the 8:00 hour. Also, we have tickets to give away right now. If you want to go to Shamrock St. Patty's Day downtown music and beer festival, tradition returns as authentic Irish celebration takes over the gas lamp. That's going to be on March 16th. You could get tickets at sandiegoshamrock.com right now, or you could call in 877-767-4760. That's 877-SORG-760 at exactly 7:43. So for our app listeners out there on the free iHeartRadio app, if you wait to exactly 7:43 and you dial that number, you have an opportunity to win. Caller number 5 getting those tickets. I want to talk to everybody about my dentist, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental. This is the perfect environment if you're somebody who's a little squeamish about getting your teeth worked on. Trust me, I get it. It's uncomfortable for most people. It's an unfamiliar setting. Normally, you don't love your dentist and you go there and it's usually bad news. Oh gosh, I got to do what? I need a cavity filled. Oh, root canal. Oh no, how many visits is this going to take? Where am I going? Where am I getting the imaging done? Am I going to be in the chair with my dentist or some, orthodontist elsewhere? It takes time and it takes so many phone calls, not with Ocean View Dental. So that's what I was told when I needed extensive dental work. I was told that I was going to have to go to 4 different dental offices. I was told that it was going to take a year and a half to complete the procedure that I needed to have done. I needed a tooth to be extracted. I needed 3 implants, and I was told it was going to take forever, 18 months. I didn't even know where to start. But then I went to Ocean View Dental. It was on a recommendation from somebody who works here at iHeart San Diego. It was LaDonna Harvey on Kogo News. She said, you got to go see Dr. Jordan Colby. He is a game changer. The guy brings me into his office. Everything is done in his office. All the imaging, all the procedural planning, the implants, the extraction, everything from start to finish. He was my dentist. It only took 3 months. He's an incredible dentist. He's a miracle worker. People from all over Southern California go to visit this dentist shop, and it's for good reason. They do everything in-house, and it's a comfortable, family-oriented environment. If you need a new dentist, or even if you don't, if you're just looking to maybe see what else is out there, go to oceanviewdental.net. That's oceanviewdental.net. Sports 760. Just give away those Shamrock tickets, a pair to one of our listeners. We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to Slightly Stupid, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That concert coming up in August. Man, this is
royalty-free 50s?
Yeah, this feels like
60s.
Okay. That'll be the day that I die.
It's called Bubblegum Fun.
Yeah.
This feels like early Beach Boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little Beach Boys Elvis collab.
Yeah.
Royalty free.
royalty free. Yeah, so listen, we have a pie contest on International Pie Day.
Yeah.
That's coming up in just a little bit here. We all have our pies now.
So we're going to put our pies out on the table here, take a picture, and then let the listeners vote on the prettiest pie?
Well, so yeah, I guess we'll have a listener vote on Twitter and Instagram. We're going to post pictures of the pies and have people choose which ones they like best just from looking at them.
Okay.
And then we're going to have our guest judges come in studio, I guess around 8:30.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We should let them do a visual, vote as well.
Yeah.
And then they can do the taste test.
Sure, yeah.
Wait, are we going to do a taste test and vote?
We should too.
We should probably do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right,
Works.
so we have so many things to do and so very little time on International Pie Day, and
Dude.
happy Pie Day to everybody.
Jeff
It's a big
Sanders has a story in the UT right now about Steven Wilson finding out like the moment he was part of the trade deal. So apparently
easy.
there were a bunch of Padres and their significant others kind of having a picnic while they were waiting for the team bus. And it sounds like it's a movie script because Steven Wilson's sitting there having the picnic, talking about going to Korea. And then the breaking news comes and they all see it on their phone and they're like, oh, I wonder if I was part of this trade package. And then Steven Wilson's phone lights up and it's a call.
Ooh.
And so he walks away and then comes back and he has red eyes. And apparently he took 5 or 6 trips into the clubhouse, getting stuff, taking it out to his car. And on his way back to the clubhouse, Jackson Merrill gave him a hug. Trevor Hoffman was there and he gave him a big hug. And I guess when Steven Wilson finally came back to the table, he was tears flowing.
Yeah, these are first and foremost young men. Most likely, if you get traded, it's the first time you've been traded. Because it's rare. I know it happens a lot in sports. We hear about trades all the time, but there's a lot of baseball players, and not all of them are getting traded. It's not a daily occurrence in your career, so it's tough. Blake Snell, I thought it was so fantastic what Blake Snell did, being so open and honest about how difficult it was transitioning from Tampa Bay to the San Diego market, feeling homesick, transferring from working with the coaches and his teammates in Tampa Bay with the Rays, and then flipping that over to San Diego. He had a rough stretch to start his career as a Padre because he wasn't acclimated.
Yeah.
And it takes a little while to feel comfortable in your environment. And if you're the type of person who needs to feel comfort in order to perform, especially such a mental game like being a starting pitcher in the Major League Baseball, that takes time for some. And for Blake Snell, his openness was phenomenal. I wish Steven Wilson the best. It's the worst / potentially best day of your life because it's not a closed door. It's an open door to new opportunity. Hopefully he has a great time in Chicago.
And that is a piece the Padres are going to miss. Steven Wilson was really productive over the last couple of years. I think he's been with the Padres 2 full seasons now, and he was very productive. He was well liked in the clubhouse. We do wish him the best as he goes to Chicago, but it just now the Padres have Dylan Cease. How can you A, replace a clubhouse role like Steven Wilson, and B, be ridiculously productive for the Padres because you're going to be relied upon to be so? They just gave up 4 pieces, 3 of which were top 10 prospects, and Steven Wilson, who was already a productive member of the team. That's the expectation going on with Dylan Cease, that he's going to be good enough or better than everything that got shipped off.
Right. Well, I agree with everything he said, except Steven Wilson wasn't a starting pitcher.
No, he was bullpen piece.
Yeah, it was a relief arm. And yes, he was a good fabric, role player, clubhouse guy. I mean, Dylan Cease could be a stopper potentially in this rotation. I mean, you mentioned it, and I don't think it's too far off from a fact. Potentially, depending on how his acclimation to the new environment goes, Dylan Cease can end up being an ace on this staff. We'll see. Look, a lot of things have to happen between now and probably the point where that even happens, if there's potential for it to happen. But it is a good signing. It is a great trade. AJ Preller does it again. We'll get back to that story, but I wanted to focus briefly on the Aztecs, who are playing later on today. They got a 2:30 tip in Vegas against UNLV. They reset the matchup of about a week and a half ago when they went to face the Rebels and lost on their home floor. This is the Mountain West Conference tournament. It's supposed to be neutral. It's not. Thomas and Mack Center is going to have a lot of Rebels fans in there. So this is an unfair advantage, frankly, for the Rebels, but them's the breaks.
But the playing field has become even. UNLV going to be missing one of the Boone brothers today, and the Boone brothers killed them a couple weeks ago. If you remember, and their names confuse me, so I don't know which one's which. I'm sorry, but they're two brothers, last name Boone. One of them had the game-saving block on Micah Parrish. That was a 3-point shot. One of them had the biggest shot in the game, which was a little floater down the middle that put UNLV up 2 points. So, like, one of them is not playing in the game today, and John Schaefer will know exactly which one by the time we get started with pregame.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still even the playing field. I mean, I get what you're saying. But having a, and I use air quotes, home field advantage, home court advantage is a huge advantage.
Uncle Teddy had a tweet out, and it's not going to be the same home court advantage that UNLV would have gotten during the regular season. Uncle Teddy put a tweet out earlier today because he was on the plane to Vegas with the team. Tons of Aztecs fans on that one. I guess San Diego Airport yesterday was filled with Aztecs fans. They're expecting 3,000 to 4,000 San Diego State fans to be in attendance at Thomas and Mack today.
That's cool. That's fantastic. As well as the other fans of other teams will be there. So yeah, I understand it's not all loaded up, but come on. I mean, there's something different about being at your court. Your court.
Yeah.
Like, it. This is your stomping grounds. This is our studio.
And they're the higher seed. So it's truly their home court.
It is, yeah. And San Diego State 4.5 point favorites heading into this. Again, these don't mean anything metrically anymore. So if you see the 4.5 point favorite and be like, oh, the Aztecs need to win to hold on to their March Madness seeding. Joe Lunardi had a bracket out earlier today or maybe late yesterday. San Diego State's held on to that 5th seed pretty consistently over the last several weeks, and that's by absorbing 2 losses in the process. So at this point in the season, the selection committee, the bracketologists, they have enough tape on you to feel comfortable about where they have you. Most likely, San Diego State's going to be a 5 seed, barring a loss today. That could drop them down.
Listen, all I know is if Dutch and the boys win this tournament, great. But it all comes down to March.
That's everything.
Yeah. Like as much as it feels important because it's happening right now, conference tournaments, they don't matter. I mean, they matter for some. Like, it can launch you into the tournament. There could be a team out of the Mountain West who nobody sees coming.
UNLV is that team.
Perfect example.
They are, as of right now, they are on the outside looking in of March Madness. If they go on to win the tournament, A, they get the automatic bid. B, I kind of feel like they belong in the tournament. They've been that good this year.
Well, it can happen.
I mean, towards the end, right?
Yeah, they won 10 out of their last 11 games to finish this year. They just took really bad losses early on, which metrically kind of ruined them. But that's the point of San Diego State's non-conference schedule, is the reason that they are situated so nicely.
And don't mistake it. Like, I prefer they'd win the conference, but it all comes down to March. We are waiting to see how they look in the big tournament. Okay. We got to get going here. We have a pie competition on International Pie Day.
And we need your help.
We do. Yeah. Speaking of circumference, I want to talk to everybody about their testosterone levels.
It's like, where you go?
Gross.
Oh.
Also, lap after your read.
Whoa, I was talking about circumference of muscles. Everybody wants girthier, beefier biceps.
24-inch pythons.
Yeah, you remember the Hulkster? That guy, he seemed like he might have taken visits to the man zone. The man zone over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery. Medical director, Dr. Roy David. He's a double board certified plastic surgeon. But he's trying to get your test levels up. Yeah, America. Look, it's true. This is a careful practitioner and somebody who truly understands and gives a damn about men. Like, there's been this recent discovery that if you treat people with testosterone replacement therapy, once men get to their ages of 40s, 50s, 60s, you could see a reversal of the aging process. So if you're somebody who's feeling the slowdown, right? You're living your life in a daily funk. You're waking up, you're feeling lethargic. You haven't been able to get to the gym because you're just lacking that motivation. Or when you get to the gym, you're not seeing the results you're used to. Or maybe it's an issue in the bedroom. Look, there's a million different things that testosterone affects during your course of your daily life. It is the hormone that regulates most of your other hormones. So wouldn't you want it to be at an optimized level? I certainly did and do.
I'm a patient over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone. And the reason why I go there is because I was feeling all those things. I was feeling sluggish. I was feeling lethargic, and I wanted to feel better. So I got my testosterone levels tested. I was in the low average range. And they said, hey, we could boost you up. You'd probably be feeling better. After doing it for a month, I knew this was for me. And trust me when I tell you it's for you, especially if you're in your 40s, your 50s, or 60s, or like me in your late 30s. You may find out that you're in that lower end of the range and you want to boost those numbers up and start feeling better fast. Go to the Man Zone, themanzone.com to check out more information. But this is the case. Every single year, you're losing testosterone levels. This is measured. This is studies. I mean, study after study have been coming out about this stuff for years now. So it should be a part of your annual physical. You go to the doctors, you get checked up, head over to the Man Zone, get your testosterone levels checked there as well. That's themanzone.com, themanzone.com.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. Starting off with Padres, they made their big move acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox to add to the top of their starting rotation. Cease was the White Sox ace. He's 28 years old. He's been a workhorse over the last 3 seasons. Padres sending over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. College hoops, Aztecs have their first game in the Mountain West tournament today against UNLV at 2:30. We got pregame coverage for you beginning at 2. And in golf, the Players' Championship underway, and Rory McIlroy off to a hot start. He's 6 under and has 3 strokes on the rest of the field. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Patrol has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
But banana bread and work, dude! Hell yeah! Hell yeah, bro! Hell yeah! Banana bread, bro! Hell work, dude! Hell yeah!
Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Happy International Pie Day to all. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And here with you, San Diego Sports 760. We do have a pie competition happening. As it turns out, there's nobody here in the building. So we are in search of judges.
Where is everyone? Colin's off today. There's nobody in our building.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like we're the the last remaining survivors.
Did the apocalypse happen?
It could have. Honestly, I haven't seen anything on the news that would alarm me, but that doesn't mean something alarming hasn't happened here in Southern California. We'll keep you updated as soon as we know what's going on. But yeah, we do know what's going on with the Padres. The Padres, they've made a signing. They made a trade. They've made a splashy deal heading into the regular season. Dylan Cease from the White Sox, sought after trade candidate, comes to San Diego. He will be the third arm in the rotation. Who knows? I mean, he could potentially end up being the ace of this staff for all we know, depending on the season works out. But Dylan Cease, an innings eater, a guy who's been in the Cy Young voting in the very recent past, not last season, but years prior to that, is now a San Diego Padre. That's a big deal. That is, yeah. I mean, that is huge heading into this regular season.
Look, that was our complaint here. That was the concern. Hey, you know what? I know we still got some superstars in the team. However, we're going to run out of pitchers, and they added one. Yeah. And what appears to be a pretty damn good one.
Yeah. He's a power thrower. 2 years ago, he was second place in Cy Young voting, which that's really all you need to hear. I mean, he's coming over. He could potentially be the ace by the time this season is over, and he could be starting game 1 of a playoff series. Now, if you guys did do this in your head with me, because I did this last night, say the Padres were going to win 79 games before they added Dylan Cease. Does this take you up to 83, 84? Or does it take you from 81 to 87? Like, is this a 5-game better addition to the Padres?
I mean, you would think it should be. I guess where I have an issue, though, is I question whether or not they would get to 79 wins with their current road, with their, sorry. Six more wins here. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably.
5 or 6 wins is a lot, but here's the deal. Could the Padres cumulatively, like, you know, the makeup of this roster versus last year's roster, get 8 or 9 more wins? I believe it. I really do. I think oh wow, we have some potential judges.
Wait, what happened here?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, did the word get out?
Did word? Okay,
yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Paolo and Trudy, get to a microphone, put on headphones right now.
Exactly. There we go. It's Master Chef competition.
We interrupt our entire conversation about the San Diego Padres to focus now on Paolo and Trudy, guest judges here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. It's International Pie Day. So our reaction to that is we need to have a pie baking competition.
Right. We did. We did. 3 pies baked sort of here. Now, guys, so are those microphones on? Yes, they're on. They're ready to go. Visually, where would you award points here? 3 points to the best visual, and then 2 to 1.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, right into the mic there, Trudy.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I guess we should say that too. So 3 different pies here. There's there appears to be an apple crumb pie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a strawberry, I guess some cream pie
strawberry
there.
cream pie.
And then there's a what Reese's Pieces chocolate peanut butter creamy pie there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So visually, Trudy, which one you giving the number 3 to, or 3 points to? Okay, strawberry. Strawberry gets 3 points.
So strawberry gets 3 points.
Okay. For looks on visual. Paulo?
I'm definitely going to go with the Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
Wow.
Reese's
so
Pieces,
Paulo,
3.
Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go. Tough judges.
Yeah,
tough judges.
Yeah, right. Number 2, Trudy.
The chocolate Reese's.
Okay, Reese's Pieces gets a 2 from Trudy. And Paulo?
I'm not a fan of strawberries, so I had to give it to that.
Okay. All right. It's gonna be a tough judge right here.
Okay. So I'm
Man, no love for the apple crumb.
Well, yeah, Apple Crumb just got 2.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, from Paulo?
So
Oh, sorry.
Apple Crumb is currently at 3. Strawberry is at 4, and the chocolate is at 5.
Okay. I am so confused.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you keep score. I'm now out of the scorekeeping business.
Hang on.
Okay, good.
Hang on.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's move on to taste. I would argue this is the most important facet of any pie. Is look, how it looks is one thing. How it tastes is everything. So we have the strawberry cream pie. I guess that'll be the first one. You know, it's kind of there, right there from right to left for you guys.
Right.
They dig in.
So, okay. Trudy taking a taste here, Master Chef style. Okay. All right. She said, we got a head nod here.
Very satisfying.
Paulo, not a strawberry fan.
It's surprisingly good.
Okay. All right.
Surprisingly
That is
Very
honestly
good.
delicious.
The strawberry one? Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot we're tasting too.
We got to
here.
taste it too.
Okay, hang on.
Hang on.
I'm actually kind of blown away because I didn't think I'd like it at all.
I didn't know it had like a crust at the bottom, so that really made.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like Yoplait yogurt.
I'll be honest with you.
That's a good call.
So the crust saves it.
Yeah. There's some salty on the crust.
Is that pretzel in there?
That appears to be pretzel. It appears to be
Holy
pretzel.
moly.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go back for a second bite.
Mm.
Mhm. Well, I mean, while we have time.
All right. Here's what I'll say about texture. The jelly, the strawberry jelly on top, it's a little alarming. The cream mellows that texture.
Yeah.
The crust sells me.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to give me that pie and say, Rich, do you want seconds?
I just want the crust.
The answer is yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You just want crust only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only the crust.
There are 3 different textures there.
There are 3
Yeah.
very distinct.
Right.
Very
Right.
distinct.
Okay. Let's move on to the second one here. The next one in the row. Let's go with the apples. The
Sure,
next up there.
right in the middle.
All right. So Paulo picking up the plate. Trudy gonna take a bite here. All right. Still kind of warm.
It
Kinda
might
warm.
even have been fresh out of the oven.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Who knows? All right. Damn good pie.
Wow.
Is that office pie?
That might be office pie.
And by the way, whoever made this, I like what they did with the apples because they're not completely soft. There's still a little bit of crunch to the apple, and that's the way to go. Because super soft and chewy apples, the texture's all off.
I gotta tell you, that's the leader for me right now. That's leading the pack for me.
There's a lot of crumble in there.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Okay, all right, okay. Now let's go on to the third, the chocolate peanut butter creamy one.
Okay, look at this thing. Now,
Do
visually,
either of you have a peanut allergy?
for those of you
We
listening, for those of you
Somebody come
listening,
and pick me up.
there is so much. And when I say so much, I mean so much chocolate pudding in this thing. It is stacked up.
Wow, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Hey, we didn't say pie day was going to be easy. Trudy.
No, nobody said that. Nobody said it. Okay.
Man, these are all so different.
Make them guess who made what.
Yeah. Guess who made what, guys? I've got a mouthful of chocolate pudding.
That's really good, though.
Mhm.
That was, I mean, boy, that is really good.
That's
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Was that your guess?
Rich.
Is it?
Okay.
I think Rich made the strawberry.
So you
Okay.
think I made the strawberry?
Okay.
Paulo, you thought I made which one?
The
Okay.
rich one. The
Okay.
rich peanut butter one.
So
All
you
right.
think I made the chocolate peanut butter pie? All right. Which one do you think Travis made then?
I think Travis made that one.
Okay, the chocolate peanut butter.
So
chocolate
TD
peanut
made.
butter.
Okay. And what do you
And
think?
Paulo?
The apple.
Okay.
I mean,
You say okay,
Okay.
so TD made. So Trudy says that I made the strawberry,
Mhm.
that TD made the peanut butter pie, and Fletch made the apple.
Right.
Paolo, what do you say?
I'm going to turn it a little bit around. I'm going to say that TD made the apple.
Okay.
And Ben, Flash, I think you made the strawberry, but
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Well.
We're
Do
all
we
wrong.
unveil that now? You guys are completely wrong.
Yes.
You're all three. Wow. Do we unveil that now? I guess it doesn't matter.
I think we can.
Yeah.
So
I made the strawberry, TD on the strawberry. Rich baked that apple pie here in studio literally minutes ago.
Look, check
Yeah,
this out.
look, there's an oven in here. Yeah.
I brought this in.
We stole it from the break room.
It's from the break room. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually not my oven.
Right.
that's why you couldn't find anybody. Everybody was looking for the oven.
Yes. Everybody knows though, when it's missing to come here, they have to use it in here. It's not leaving. That's crazy.
Then I made the giant Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
They're all very, very good.
Okay. Based on taste, Trudy, who's getting first place here?
Oh yeah, we did this out of order. We
Yeah.
should have told them who it was until they voted on taste.
Dang it.
Now they're going to feel
thought they
bad or
already did.
good.
Well, like you said, they're all so different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all excellent.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
Peanut butter's like my favorite food.
Okay.
So I have to go with peanut butter.
Okay.
All right, so
chocolate.
Fletch-
We're going to 8 here. Paulo.
Giving it to the peanut butter, too.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
look,
deceiving.
it's walking away with it at this point. But who's getting second place? Trudy.
I like apple pie.
Okay. All right. Look at this.
Sorry, I'm
Apple
sorry.
pie.
Wow. And Paulo.
Surprise factor. I'm going to give it to the strawberry.
Wow, okay, look at that, and then-
I
That-
was blown away by the three.
Okay.
Listen, that puts strawberry in second place, apple pie in third, but only by a point difference.
It's like by an eyelash. Wow.
The first place winner of Pie Day 2024, Ben Fletcher, ladies and gentlemen, with the gigantic chocolate peanut butter cream pie.
Huge thank you to Trudy
Yes.
and to Paolo, our sales team here at iHeart San Diego, helping us through this one. We couldn't have done it without you,
Yeah.
and that is the God's honest truth.
yes.
Because
Happy to help.
Yeah.
we could not find anybody in this godforsaken building.
Wait, hold on. Where is everyone?
Yeah, where were you guys hiding?
They're looking for the oven.
Yeah.
They're just
well.
looking for that oven.
Keep your hands off my gourmia. That's all mine.
That's- Yeah, we did start a fire earlier, but it's
Yeah.
not a problem because we're used to it.
Yeah, this is only our third studio fire since starting
Right,
the show.
right.
So
It's no big deal.
we're
big
going to
deal.
be okay.
Now we appreciate you guys. Thank you
you
so
again.
much, Anna, and happy Pie Day.
Yeah, yeah,
Happy Pie Day.
You guys.
Very
Yeah.
nicely done.
Ask around if you see anyone else, if they want pie, we have plenty.
We got so much pie.
Yeah. There
Wow.
we go. Wow. So Fletch, you won.
Yeah, I would not have crowned myself the winner after
Why?
eating these. I would have definitely put myself in third place, actually. Maybe because I had so much of it last night. But Rich, your the crumblies on it, are those homemade? Because they're delicious.
I have so many secrets to tell about what went into this pie making process. You
Oh,
are,
God.
yeah.
And
oh,
then
boy.
TD's crust is out of this world good. I want to eat just the crust. The actual pie itself was kind of meh, but the crust was unreal.
The crust is phenomenal.
Good.
Guys, the Players' Championship is going on in Florida. It's the unofficial fifth major of the golf world. Rory McIlroy, 5 under par. He leads the way. He's actually got a one-shot lead now on Xander Schauffele, who is 4 under par. So already a crowded leaderboard on day one. They've been playing for like 2 hours. And the guys at the top are the big hitters. Padres, they made their big move acquiring Dylan Cease from the White Sox. That adds to the top of their starting rotation. Cease was the White Sox ace. He is 28 years old in the prime of his career. He's been a workhorse over the last 3 years, going over 30 starts in each of the last 3 years. Padres sent over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. College hoops, Aztecs with a big one today, man. First game in the Mountain West tournament starting at 2:30 against UNLV at the Thomas and Mack Center. We got pregame coverage for you beginning at 2 o'clock today. And kind of a bummer news, but San Diego State women's basketball team falling to UNLV yesterday in the Mountain West Tournament Championship. They were a 7 seed that made it all the way to the championship. Congratulations to Stacey Terry Hudson and all the girls on the team. It was a hell of a year for them, falling in the Mountain West Tournament Championship game.
Yeah, former assistant coach Justin Hudson's wife the head coach with the women's basketball team at San Diego State, Justin Hudson, of course, the head coach with the Fresno State Bulldogs,
who won yesterday against Wyoming, and they were dogs. So what is that dynamic like last night as they get back to their hotel room in Vegas? Because Stacey Terry Hudson losing in the Mountain West Championship game, Justin Hudson upsetting Wyoming to move on in the Mountain West tournament.
Zero celebration.
They have to stay
Zero-
completely
zero-
away
no,
from each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
right?
No. They can be together, but no celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The only time you celebrate is if wifey gets the win.
That's
And
correct.
if wife
Yeah.
wins and you lose, you still have to celebrate, right?
That's
Oh,
correct.
1,000.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
are
yeah.
so happy. You're so excited.
Yeah, by the way, like if it were reversed, like if you lost the championship and she won an opening round game, you would still be celebrating.
Oh, yeah, right now.
Yeah, right now. We're going to Hell's Kitchen. Come on, let's pack up, honey.
Absolutely.
So congrats though. That's an awesome run for a 7 seed in a tournament like that. That's a lot of fun to hear about. Okay, so back to the topic of the day, which is the Padres, like you mentioned in the update there during halftime, Fletch, landing Dylan Cease. If you want to text the show, 70470, start your message with team. If you want to hit us up on the talkback feature on the free iHeart Radio app, it's right next to the play icon. You hit the microphone button. You can leave us a 30-second talkback and just give us your thoughts on what this means for the Padres. I put out a tweet, a little snarky, but I just wanted to get a feel for how people were feeling about AJ Preller today or yesterday, as opposed to the weeks leading up to this move. I was like, in AJ Preller, we trust, right? And I got a limited number of responses, but the responses I've gotten were negative. Like, people are not the biggest AJ Preller fans anymore.
Well, I get it, and I have been in that camp a lot. I mean, I feel it. I understand it because you hope and you want something, and you feel like there's somebody that you want to point a finger at. You want to find blame somewhere. So if the problem with last year's team, which was supposed to just dominate, was discord at the front office, you look at AJ Preller. So, and he's been kind of a common denominator in these teams that have fallen apart. So that's why all eyes look at AJ Preller. However, I said it earlier today, as I was driving into work this morning, I thought he figures it out. I mean, he does deliver.
Yeah.
So other than a championship or a win, but as I'm sitting here going, well, they're done. They need another pitcher. What are they going to do?
And he's
He
kept
brings the pitcher.
Yeah, and he's kept them relevant through seasons where they're not necessarily making the postseason. Padres are still talked about just as much as any other team. So, but now you look at this, and John Schaefer made this point yesterday. If this is AJ Preller's last chance, which I believe it is, I believe it has to be. So if the Padres do not make the playoffs this year, if they don't go on a little bit of a run in the playoffs this year, if AJ Preller is gone next year, at least he's going out doing what AJ Preller does.
Right. And here's the thing. This was a low salary threshold trade. This is a guy who's controllable for an additional year. You moved some prospects. Here's what you don't like. If you're a Padres fan looking forward to the future and a bright one, is this is a 5-player trade. So
3 of your top 10 prospects are involved in this trade,
Yeah.
plus a reliever who's been solid for you for 2 years.
It's not for nothing.
No, it's a huge cost.
It's a huge cost to the future of the Padres. Does AJ Preller really care about the future of the Padres if he's not a part of the future of the Padres?
He can't afford to, Rich. And what I think AJ's looking at is the fact that, well, in a couple years when some of these prospects would have been ready to join the team at the major league level and start contributing, Manny Machado's past his prime. Xander Bogaerts would be past his prime. Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish might not even be on the team anymore.
Well,
So AJ Preller's thinking about adding right now while this window is open.
You're talking to the right guy. I am always in favor of building for today instead of for tomorrow when you can make a run at a title. Like, I'm the person who'll say, hey, bet the farm on winning a World Series, because guess what? The bird in your hand is worth 2 in the bush. Like, you can tell me about prospects and how the future is going to look and how everything is going to pan out. But like so many prospects before, many of them flunk out of the major league level. It's hard to make it at that level. So I don't mind it, but I'm just saying, like, be realistic here. If you're looking at this and you're saying, wow, this is incredible, AJ did it again. AJ Preller is in self-preservation mode, as he should be. If he's going to keep his job, the Padres need to win this year, because if he doesn't, you're absolutely right, Fletch. He's on borrowed time already.
Well, then why wouldn't he be fighting so hard to open that checkbook back up? Or is he, and we don't know?
I'll bet you he is.
Oh,
I don't think AJ
is.
Preller is the one who is tightening up all the strings here. That's the business side of the Padres.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, if they have I don't know what you'd classify as a successful season at this point, because I felt like we have been so locked on. We were supposed to win a championship last year. So, I mean, are the playoffs, is that a successful season?
No, not an early out in the playoffs. I don't think so.
So
I think playoffs should be the bare minimum expectation.
Oh, I agree.
It needs to be a NLCS run. It needs to be a serious push.
That should be the bare minimum expectation. With put any team next to that. I mean, that should be the bare minimum expectation. You got to get to the dance, man.
Well, I will say this. Different years yield different expectations. Like there was a time here in San Diego where you were just hopeful that this team was even going to be competitive in their division, like even competitive in their league. And that's the truth. Like that's the reality of sports, is sometimes you're in that part of the rebuild, but we're not there anymore. Like you have Manny Machado under contract. You have Fernando Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts, and Ha-Seong Kim's coming off a good year. You have Musgrove and Yu Darvish. Yeah, I understand you can't re-sign Snell because the purse strings got pulled, but you brought in Dylan Cease. Like you have to win now. You have to do it. There's no excuses left. And so I'm with you on this year. In years past, of course, you have to level expectations with where the team's at, where they are in their rebuild phase, but you're not rebuilding. You're built. This is the window for winning. If you don't win, you got to make changes. They've already made a lot of changes. So the common denominator here, after going through 4 different managers with the same general manager, is your general manager. So this is a must-win season for AJ Preller.
But if they do win and they get some wins here in the playoffs and they were able to whittle down the payroll, it's going to get whittled again.
Well, it could. Or, I mean, deep runs, sometimes those net gains, maybe it opens up the purse strings a little bit more.
I think this is also the year to kind of like reset all the infractions you've made against the CBT. So like they're getting punished already for the past 3 years with the CBT. This is the year to kind of save face a little bit in terms of that, in terms of the league, so that they're not heading into next year with more punishments, financial or draft capital.
No question. Coming up on the other side, back to the NFL we go. Free agency, the frenzy is pretty much over. There's still signings and trades that are happening basically on a daily basis. We'll update you of any new ones. We have some nominees for most improved NFL team on the other side of the league year starting. We'll get to those, but first, TD, I'll tell you right now, on International Pie Day, you're the apple of my eye.
Well,
Look at those biceps.
yeah. Right. Come on, guys.
Are those pecs?
You know what? Actually,
Tory Peck?
Is that a six pack?
Traffic? Listen, as we celebrate Pie Day here, we're goofing around, eating some pie. What's great is I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel guilty about it. Because look, I lost 31 pounds with SDFatLoss.com, but they've showed me how to keep that weight off. You know, this 80-20 rule up, you can still enjoy life.
Are you maintaining?
I'm maintaining, man. I am maintaining, and we all are. So look, it's not a punishment. We actually get to enjoy life. It's not like one of these fad diets where, you know, you're counting calories or you're drinking some shake you don't want to drink, and then that's it, man. That's all you get. No. Wayne and Chloe, they'll walk you through it. They'll show you the correct way to lose weight, the healthy way to lose weight fast, and then most importantly, keep that weight off. Because the fad diet's yo-yo diet. Look, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been on the yo-yo diet.
Then
Down.
back up.
Back up.
Then
down. And back up.
Right back up.
It's not good for you. It's tiring. It's exhausting. You don't want to do that.
Hurts the bones.
It does. Hurts the soul, Richie. And, you know, truly, I mean, I've done it. I've been on the fat diets. And to be quite honest, I felt like crap. I mean, that's just the honest truth there. When you gain that weight back, you feel like a failure. SDFatLoss.com, they're going to make sure you succeed. They don't want you to fail. They want this thing to work for you as much as you want it to work for you. Go there right now, SDFatLoss.com. You can schedule a free consultation where they will tailor make a diet plan for you. SDFatLoss.com, SDFatLoss.com.
Aztecs hours away from tipping off. Padres make a big move. And what NFL team has most improved so far this offseason? We'll get to it all coming up next. This update is presented by the Jupiter Trail Real Estate Team. Padres make their big move. They acquired Dylan Cease from the White Sox. That adds to the top of their starting rotation. Cease was the White Sox ace. He is 28 years old, has been a workhorse over the last 3 seasons. Padres sending over 3 prospects and reliever Steven Wilson in the deal. College hoops, Aztecs have their first game of the Mountain West Tournament today against UNLV at 2:30. Pregame coverage for you gets going starting at 2 o'clock today. Uncle Teddy with the tip-off at 2:30. Listen here on 760 or the free iHeartRadio app. And in golf, Players Championship underway in Florida. The unofficial 5th major of the year is underway this morning. Rory McIlroy in the lead. He is at 5 under par, tied with San Diego's own Xander Schauffele, both at 5 under to start their rounds. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just the text. Jim Buttrell has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Champ here. When I'm in San Diego, I'm always hanging out at San Diego Sports 760. With who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
Oh, I was like, what happened? You just ended. It's Big Red City and Fletch San Diego Sports 760 on a pie day. Fletch's Pie wins the chocolate peanut butter pie, and it's clear that that is the favorite because, well, we keep going back to it.
Yeah, we're eating a lot of pie today.
Yeah, the chocolate peanut butter pie wins. We're gonna have to post that online. Yeah, no, that doesn't tighten it. It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough. Good enough. We still have a giveaway to do here.
Second place was the strawberry cream pie.
Yeah.
So two cream pies. We're the winner and the runner-up. In a distant third place, the apple crumb that I almost set fire to the studio and baking in studio again.
I'll be honest, that was my number one, though. I love the apple
pie,
crumb.
The pie was, the apple was tasty.
It came out good. Can I tell you how that got made? And then we will discuss how we're going to give away this last giveaway.
Yeah, did you almost burn down Pacific Beach last night?
Okay. So, sorry, I'm just enjoying some more of that chocolate peanut butter pie. So I come home from dinner last night. I throw the pie in the oven around, I want to say 12:15, 12:30.
Scale of 1 to 10, how drunk?
Pretty tipsy. Like by Uber drive home, kind
Like
of
a 6.
I would say, yeah, put me at a 6, maybe a 5, probably a 5.
You're giggling a little bit.
I'm having a good time making the pie. Not a great time because I know I'm gonna have to stay awake until this pie gets baked.
Yeah, because what's dangerous at a 5? It's like it's either you're done and nappy nap,
Well, so that's exactly what happens, dude. So
or you party.
I put this pie in the oven. And I was actually thinking about making myself another drink because Tony Kanja from Keg and Bottle, we've been gifted so many bottles of different liquors, like the cabinet's overflowing. I'm like, I should probably drink something. I'm like, but I really don't feel like it. I'm gonna have a trouble holding my eyes open. And I think maybe another drink would put me asleep. So I end up sitting on the couch, get on the phone, and I'm in the endless scroll. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm scrolling.
So many butts.
And there's so many butts. I'm scrolling. And what ends up happening?
More butts on Instagram right now. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. IG, the algorithm has flipped over. It's all butts all day.
They were like,
ever
how is TikTok so popular? And then somebody went, because of the butts.
Ever since Rich sent us that video of the woman breastfeeding, that's all over my Instagram now too.
Yeah. You're welcome, by the way. We support breastfeeding on this show.
I actually got a Facebook recommendation
for a lactation consultation.
You remember when I showed you that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put the pie in the oven. I fall asleep on the couch. I mean, fall into, and I'm talking, when I mean sleeping, like I don't snore unless like I fall asleep on my back. So I'm in the recliner part of the couch and I am just sawing wood like, I get up to the smell. It's very rare for the sense of smell to wake you out of a dead sleep. But that's how I woke up. There is smoke billowing from the oven. I'm like, oh my God. I don't even know. I almost broke the couch. I jump off the recliner. I run. I make a mad dash for the oven. I open it up. And I mean, I get hit with a wall of smoke.
Oh, no.
Dude, it was this close to igniting. So I pull out the apple pie. The apples that you have inside of the pie that I made this morning were saved from that pie. That's the pie filling that I was able to scrape away from the burnt exterior.
So it's like double cooked.
It's double cooked. So I threw that all into a bowl, and then I went to Vons this morning, bought a whole new pie crust, and then bought Entenmann's crumb cakes. And
that's why they were so good.
That was the crumb top. I tore the crumb topping off of crumb cakes, and that's what I put on top of the apple pie filling.
Genius.
And so that's what I was baking in here that I almost set the studio on fire with.
It worked.
Well, anyways, happy Pie Day.
Who would have thought that a man who owns a flamethrower and routinely buys flamethrowers for his friends as gifts would set fire to things without the flamethrower even being involved?
I've never set anything on fire with the flamethrower.
Same.
Actually. Yeah.
Shocker.
Just with
except for like things I mean to set on fire.
You're right.
Yeah. Caleb, my son, made creme brulee.
Yeah.
Little desserts, and so he's trying things out here at the cookbook.
Creme brulee,
whatever it is. I've had them twice, and both times were made by Caleb. Yeah. So he made them, and then he went to torch the top of them with the sugar or whatever you call it.
Yeah. That's the brulee part.
That's the brulee part, right? But we were out of propane in the little torch, so I was like, I got the big one. I got the blowtorch from Richie, so we took it out to the driveway. It liquefied them.
That thing burns hot, dude.
I mean, they became just milk.
That bachelor party that I was at a few weeks ago, like they were having the hardest time setting fire to the campfire because all the wood was wet because California got hit with all that crazy rain. I was like, I think I have the flamethrower in the truck. And so I got the flamethrower out within seconds.
Nice.
That is the perfect usage.
Right?
You know what also is really good for it? And if you have anybody with a hardscape where you have rocks, if weeds grow up through your rocks, dude,
goodbye.
I go in the front yard. People think I'm out of my mind. I'm in Pacific Beach with a flamethrower just
in your underwear,
hosing down my property. Yeah, it is. Anyways, dousing with flames. So congratulations to Fletch, our winner on International Pie Day, the chocolate peanut butter pie.
Please hold the applause.
Incredible. Yeah. Wow. Stay in your seat. Stay seated.
I worked hard on it. Not really.
Now it sounds like you're asking for the applause. You just said you didn't need
I asked specifically for there not to be applause.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because no one is here to give
Are
them.
you guys really not going to clap for me?
Yeah.
This is
Nicely
really
done.
good. You did
Nicely
good.
done.
You did good, son.
Wow. Most improved team in the NFL so far this offseason. Anybody have a vote?
I mean, the Steelers were such a disaster at quarterback. You can make that argument. The Raiders, by
Ooh, and the
signing
Raiders, yeah.
Christian Wilkins and then getting Gardner Minshew, it feels like a coup. That's a much better team than they were last year.
That is true. That's a good pick.
Who else?
Texans got Saquon.
Texans.
I mean,
no,
adding to an offense. No, sorry.
no, Philadelphia.
Yeah, who the Texans signed a running back though?
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Mixon.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, you
huge.
think about an offense that was already pretty high powered last year, adding that to CJ Stroud.
Dude, when I don't even know if we're allowed, but when the Browns signed Jameis Winston,
Oh, some of the memes were.
because he
Yeah, you can't say
he
it.
has a checkered past, and so does Deshaun Watson. Obviously,
Yeah.
the two of those. Oh boy,
And I don't know
Yeah.
if Kareem Hunt's still on the team, but that's
Well,
also part of it.
God.
yeah, it's not
Not
great.
good. I think I'd pick the Texans.
Falcons? Anybody? Falcons?
I know Falcons.
I would have said Falcons off the top.
Kirk
'Cause,
Cousins.
as much as a disaster Pittsburgh was at quarterback, at least Kenny Pickett had some moments, right? The Falcons didn't know who they were at quarterback last year. It was between two bad options in Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. Neither of them did good.
Derrick Henry going to the Ravens.
Huge.
Yeah, you got Rashad Bateman on that offense now. Mark, what's his name? The tight end.
Mark Andrews.
Thank you, Mark Andrews.
In fact, I would say if Derrick Henry was on the Ravens this year, they might have beaten the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So if you're looking at a team going, what did they do to propel themselves to a possible Super Bowl berth? I would say the Ravens are the only team that I think maybe clicked it up a notch enough to where they could compete with the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's no question.
Right.
I mean, the excitement level has to be rising in Baltimore. And speaking of rising, over at the Man Zone.
Lap.
Wait, I'm not going to take a lap yet because I can't even stand up. I'll tell you why. Because Dr. Roy David, the medical director, double board certified plastic surgeon over at the Man Zone at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, he's got my testosterone up. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited to deliver this message.
I can see that.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, no touching, only your eyes. Thank you. This is
Talk about his biceps, people.
yeah. Guys,
Yeah,
we're
look.
professional broadcasters. This is truly, though, we like to have fun and joke around. This is truly a scourge on the male population. The lowering testosterone as you age, it makes you feel like less than you are. It stinks. And everybody goes through this process, whether it hits you in your late 30s, into your 40s, in your late 40s. Even some people are able to stave it off to their 50s, but eventually it's coming for you. The aging process is real. And every single year that you're alive, if you're a man, you're losing testosterone since you start becoming a testosterone factory going through puberty. It's going to happen to you. It's just a matter of time. So hedging your bets and getting tested every single year at the Man Zone is the way you can stave off father time. So this is what I did. I was feeling lethargic, having a hard time getting to the gym, getting workouts in, feeling lazy when I was at the gym. Like I would get in there and I'd be like, I don't want to be here. I was less than enthusiastic about showing up and trying to get some physical activity in. And then also I was in this like brain fog for a while. So I'm describing these symptoms to a close friend of mine who used to play in the NFL also. And he goes, you probably have lower testosterone. You don't even realize it. I'm like, yeah. But I'm having none of the issues in the bedroom. He goes, that's not what it's about. He's like, the aging process, the testosterone lowers. It's all the energy first. You just feel sapped all the time. He's like, trust me, go in and get tested. So I go in. Even when he first met me, Dr. Roy David said, you're not usually a candidate at your age. He's like, we'll test you, obviously. And when I got tested, I was in the low average range. And he goes, we actually can do something for you. We can boost you up, get your numbers higher. You're going to feel better for it. And I'm telling you, within 1 month, I feel like a completely different human being. So if you're in your 40s, your 50s, or 60s, and regardless of what issues or symptoms you're experiencing, go to the Man Zone at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, visit with Dr. Roy David and his team. He will get you right. Check them out at themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com. Oh my God. There's a new addition to the studio. We'll address that on the other side. Also, we have a ticket giveaway and bottom of the barrel coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We've got a loaded up show tomorrow. Keg and bottle coming in studio. It's a bar card Friday. Today felt like a virtual sprint because we had a pie competition in studio.
I was cleaning up in here because I thought maybe Brian Long was coming in, but he's not.
No. Our
Don't worry about that.
Former program director was a neat freak and a hypochondriac.
And a Chiefs fan.
And a Chiefs fan. And he hated when we brought food in studio. And when we started doing these cooking segments, he was like, why? Like, what does this do for you? What does it do for us? What does it do for me?
And we're like, shh, just open your mouth and chew.
Just enjoy some pie.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want your pie, Fletch.
This one's on you.
Second place.
Speaking of Fletch, he won the pie contest.
You know, it's not about who wins.
Well, you only say that when you win.
Yeah, you know what? We're all dear friends.
Yeah.
I actually like Rich's pie the best.
The apple crumb came out good.
I like TD's crust the best by far.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wish your crust was on my pie.
When I made the crust last night, as I like put in the food processor a bunch of pretzels, and then I poured like 2 sticks of butter, melted butter over it. I just wanted to eat it out of the bowl.
Dude, it's delicious. Like the more I have it too, I finished the piece that you served us, the more I enjoy it. Strawberry, what is it called? Strawberry cream?
Strawberry pretzel pie.
Did you use Yoplait strawberry yogurt in the making of it?
No,
because that's what it tasted like.
It's
to me.
cream cheese, Cool Whip, sugar, and then strawberry Jello mix with strawberries, and then the pretzels at the bottom.
If anybody out there wants to win slightly stupid tickets, keep listening for the next 2 minutes. You're going to find out how to win those. Bottom of the barrel today features, frankly, the most horrifying and disturbing story we've ever brought to you.
I mean, if you have access to a bunker, you're going to want to make sure you're stocked up. Things are loaded up. Yeah, if you want to, you may need to pack a bug out bag.
There's going to be a new supervillain in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
This is the origin story of how comic books are written.
Yes.
TD, walk us through this one.
So a cat fell into a vat of toxic chemicals and then walked away. This is literally the headline. A city is on alert. So,
That is Daredevil's origin stories.
I mean,
He fell into a vat of acid.
it's the Joker.
It's the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably many more.
Yeah, it's like the Fantastic Four. They were on a trip to outer space. They got hit with gamma rays. Like, this is how it happens. It's either chemicals or radiation that transforms you into a superhero or a supervillain.
It sounds like I'm making this place up. The Nomura Planting Factory.
Right.
Plating factory.
Plating, okay.
Factory. They do metal plating in Fukuyama City in Japan on
you
the
say that?
security.
Yeah.
I think so.
Might have the
I think-
dump button ready.
Yeah. I think they beat the 76ers 116 to 98. But on the security cameras, you can see the cat fall in the vat and then walk away. And little toxic footprints are in the concrete as it walks away. So
yeah, if that cat's still alive, we're all doomed.
the cat is, I'm sure, alive and probably 12 to 14 feet tall at this moment. It's been 24 hours. So
Tell you right now,
by tomorrow, we may be looking at a 100-foot cat.
that tomcat's not going to need a visit to the man zone. No chance.
5 hours and 36 minutes, boys. 5 hours and 36 minutes before San Diego State tips off against UNLV in the first round of the Mountain West Tournament. They are the first game of the day, so they will not be pushed back by any TV schedule times. So 2:30 today. Uncle Teddy on the call. Listen here on 760 or the free iHeartRadio app. John and I get you started at 2.
If you're looking on the stream, on the YouTube
Rich.
stream, do you see this? That is a giant cardboard cutout of Steve Hartman,
Fletch.
who's now prominently displayed in our studio. And I sent a picture of me standing next to the cutout. You know what he sent me back in the creepiest Steve Hartman fashion? I'm always watching you, Richie.
Yeah, it's true. He was over there to start the show.
Yeah.
His eyes were right on me.
The eyes
He's up
follow
there
you.
right now. His eyes are right on me.
That's right. That's right. We got some big things we're going to unveil tomorrow on a Bar Card Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. And are we doing 3 hours to Irish tomorrow?
Yeah.
Good God, man.
Have fun with that, boys.
Yeah.
No, you're part of it.
No, I'm not.
No, you're part of it.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
Oh,
You can't. Nope.
You can't
If
get
the
out.
Aztecs win today, I have responsibilities tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine.
and they're
That's fine.
going to win today.
Your first responsibility is to this show.
That's right. What time are the responsibilities if the responsibilities were to happen?
6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
No excuses.
Thank you to the roadies, the dogs, the hangers, the bangers. Thank you to Paolo and Trudy for judging our pie contest. Thank you, TD. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, everybody. Listen to the Aztecs today.
All right, tickets. If you want to win tickets to Slightly Stupid North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, call 877-767-4760 right at 8:58. Caller number 5 wins those tickets to Hurt Is Next. We'll see you tomorrow on a Bar Card Friday.